Yeah. That yeah, it is gross weather already, and it should not be. Thank you, I've got it, for letting me know that my mic was muted. I appreciate that. I know. Last week was like 65 and it was beautiful. And now it's all just crazy.
Really sick of wearing a black t-shirt
Yeah.
in a hot sunny day. That's the kicker. Once I don't have to do that, I
Ooh,
can acclimate.
all kinds of crazy little bugs today, everyone. Sorry about that. But I think everything should be ready to go now. So hopefully we are good. So welcome everyone to Newly Forged. Uh, hope you're all having a pleasant Wednesday. We are, yes, indeed, bugs are a bit of a passage. I've got it. And we've passed a lot of bugs. Time to get them off the windshield at this point. But
Okay, all right. I'll leave if you want me to leave.
I said
What?
bugs, not
You
turtles. But indeed, we are down a Sarah this evening. Real life work is sometimes not as fun as we wish it could be. So we're just going to have to make do. But yeah, I think it will all be glorious.
I am like semi-prepared to take over Olive when we deem it necessary.
Yeah, if we need to do any combat stuff, you got it. It's all good. But yeah, so let's do a quick round of intros and dive right in to figure out what is going to happen this week here on Newly Forged. Why don't you start us off here, introduce yourself, your character, and also tell us what your character would do on the top if they found themselves on the top of a island all by themselves. First thing they would do.
Oh, we already did the island one.
Ah,
Yeah,
it was
that was
it was
what would you bring to a deserted island? This is you find yourself on a deserted island. What's the first thing you do? It can be a survivally thing, it can be a panic thing. It's up to you.
I'm good at panicking.
roll a survival check.
I got that. And I got the panic check in hand.
Wonderful. Well, let's start up in the top corner over here with Mike. Mike, go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mike. I play Defect, Warforged Barbarian. And the first thing Defect will do, finding himself in an island, would be to. I feel like he'll just explore. He'll see what is there around him in the middle of the island, outskirts of the island. That's it, and go from there.
Very cool. Heading on down to Amber.
hello. My name is Amber Tenajaya. I play Greg the Goblin Artificer. And if I were randomly found myself on a desert island, I'd probably just yell really loud. Hello, anybody? Hello. I mean, assuming I don't know how I got there.
Fair enough. And skipping on to Tanner.
I am Tanner. I'm playing Adis the Human Ranger. Uh, Adis would just, go into survival mode and fresh water, food, shelter, that crap, and then figure out the rest.
I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. And up in the other corner with Matt.
Hello, I'm Matt. I'm playing Spoot, Turtle Cleric. I think Spoot would relax. Honestly, I don't think it would stress him too much. I think he's probably okay at the survival stuff. Although it might be a bit of a crisis because his whole, purpose in life is to travel and see new places, and he'd be kind of stuck. So probably a lot of prayer involved.
Well, maybe it's like the island in Lost. You'd have tons of research you could figure out
Yeah,
there.
I mean, I think he'd have a great map drawn of every decent location on that island by the time he was rescued. We'll just say he's rescued.
Wonderful. Very good. And I am Jared. I am your dungeon master here on Newly Forged. And we're going to dive right in to where we were last week. Where last time on Newly Forged, our Sparty, that's a word, right? Our
So,
Sporty party.
a
Merged
sport,
into one.
an
We're very
exceptionally
sporty.
sporty party. Yes.
Yeah.
But indeed, last time on Newly Forged, our party spent a few days in protective custody of the city guard of Fay Harbor. Adis and Kalen had a few discussions, beginning to bridge the strange situation they both find themselves in, with Adis returning Kalen's necklace to him. The party shared information with archivist Seda Malor via the message spell and Adis's Latchblade portal, delivering the books they discovered that they had taken from Tower Manor to him, in hope that Seda can garner information from them. Defect helped Adis train with the insectoid polearm he's been lugging around since their trek through the desert, did some arm wrestling, and grew very restless, leaving Spoot, Olive, and Grig to attempt some potion making. Adis read a bit from the Tales of Ningwa book they had discovered, and the trio managed to produce a very fine-looking health potion indeed. As they settled in for the night, Adis and Kalen shared a tender moment, while Olive dreamed of the moons circling Nuuli. We pick up the next morning. It's a new day. You've all had a long rest. Unless anybody specifically wants to get anything to accomplish, time's going to pass.
I mean, you also forgot to mention the Silver Fox Wet T-shirt contest.
That is something
Very
if people
important.
want to hear about, they're going to have to check out. If people want
That's
to,
for subscribers. That's for subscribers.
if people want to hear about that, they're going to have to check it out on YouTube.
There you go. All right.
It's definitely worth it though, because I didn't even realize what I was doing when I did it, and I did it. But indeed, yes, it turns out your husband is indeed quite the fox. So, unless anybody wants to accomplish anything specific, we're just going to bump ahead in time.
How many days?
Not
Just
many.
Just
Okay.
meditating.
I mean, I would continue with the book and then like keep occasionally sparring with Defect to try to keep him from destroying the entire house
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
and turning all of us to dust.
Perhaps Grig and Spook can just work on some Draconic occasionally, since that's the thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. You all settle into a couple of routines that you have figured out that you're going to engage with. Adis, you are reading this Tales of Ningwa book. Go ahead, just flip a coin, roll a d2. Well, roll a d6, pick odds or evens. Whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. How do I do this?
Slash r d2.
Do odds.
All right, great. Roll that d6.
Odd.
Great. It isn't odd. So you begin reading this book, and it's a story called The Amber Kirin. And as you begin reading, it's once there was a mighty Kirin who served a god as a messenger. It was a being with a coat the color of setting sun and a mighty horn made of amber. The Kirin would deliver hope and power to the faithful, and is known to instill bravery in those who see it, and fear in the enemies of its master. The Amber Kirin is said to visit only the worthy, and has been known to champion the cause of the just. And you are reading this book, and in doing so, there is a knock upon the door.
You said fear to the god's enemies, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And
it's like, hello?
yeah, a couple of guards come in. And, whoops. and like a squad captain comes in and asks for Kaelin and Jathleen to accompany him for some further questioning. This is probably like 2 days after the potion has been brewed.
Do they go?
Yeah, they're gonna go. I'm just,
Okay.
I'm just giving you all a lowdown of like what's happening. So in the meantime, you keep reading your book, Adis, and you read a story called The Competing Palaces. And in this story, it says that once a competition was held across the entirety of the Feywild between all the courts of the realm. Each court would put forth a single entrant, and that entrant would construct a palace from a single substance. The most elegant, as voted by a council of 13, would be declared the winner. And so the competition began. Palaces of ice and snow, water, earth, fire, gold, and silver dominated the vast field. There were even palaces made of dreams, nightmares, hopes, and despairs. The Council of 13 was hard-pressed until they visited the final entry. It was a palace where each counselor felt very differently. Each was confused at first, being unsure of what the palace was constructed of, arguing what the material was, each claiming it to be something else. But then the 13th counselor, a quiet representative of the Court of Spring, whispered the truth. Love, they said. For each person feels love differently, and it affects all as uniquely as a snowflake. The architect smiled and nodded, and so the council was impressed. Their winner chosen, as love was deemed the most unique and personable of all the palaces.
Ah, that's so mushy.
Right? But you finish reading the story, and you close the book, and you realize hours have passed, and no sign of Kaelin or Jathleen.
Did they say how long they were going to be gone?
They did not.
Fuck, I forgot to ask.
As the day shifts into late afternoon, there's another knock on the door.
Hello?
Yes, a large troop of guards enter and ask you to accompany them. The entirety
Like us?
of your group.
Oh.
Yeah, the 5 of you.
Oh, I like to imagine they've found me jumping on the bed.
Scrooge McDucking.
No, I the money is hidden. It doesn't exist.
Sure.
Great. So you are all walked out of the cast-off district up into the open-air district. You passed crowds of people, some of whom are kind of noting and watching as you are escorted by this troop of guards. And you are taken to a large stone building. You are led down a large, open stone hallway to a grand set of double doors. Inside the doors is a large, mostly circular room, and you can't see too much through this aisle that you're walking down. And you realize the walls are getting progressively smaller as you walk down the aisle, and you realize suddenly it's tiered seating. So it's almost like an amphitheater. You can see additional smaller doors up in these seating areas, and on the far side of the room is a raised dais, and on that dais a large table with 5 chairs that are facing you as you enter. To one side is a smaller dais and 2 chairs, and there you see the familiar figures of Jathleen and Kaelin seated. You're led to a series of tables on the ground in front of the dais itself. And as you all kind of look around and clock your surroundings, familiar figures can be seen in the first row of the audience. The first one that stands out to you all is the archivist, Seda Malor. The second one that stands out to you is the squad commander who put you all in protective custody at Tower Manor. You recognize him. The third person you recognize is, well, that Adis and maybe a few others of you recognize, is the squad commander who responded to the fireball incident, where they then took and questioned Adis. A voice calls for all assembled to rise, and you realize that beyond this first row of people, there are more spectators in a variety of garb. Some are well dressed, some are more common looking. And there are other guards here as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
Oh lordy, we have an audience.
Indeed.
Good thing we look like a completely normal group of people.
Yeah, you've had time to like clean yourselves off and everything, so you're definitely an interesting assortment of characters, but you look presentable. Or as presentable as you choose to look. So as everyone in this amphitheater rises, 5 figures enter and begin to take their seats at one of the 5 chairs on the raised dais. The first person to enter is a well-dressed older human male, maybe late 50s, in very fine clothes and flashy jewelry, wearing a top hat upon his head. The second individual is a small, pleasantly plump halfling woman in nice but functional clothing, barefoot and with a not cold but expressionless face, like she's keeping all of her emotions in check. The third that enters is a tall human male, early 40s, with a bright flashing smile, couple of scars maybe, and a long seafarer's coat with a grand wide-brimmed hat that has numerous plumes sticking out of it.
Steal that hat.
Yeah, you like that hat. Fourth is a short, slender, half-elven woman in extremely well-made green and brown clothes with bright, honey-colored eyes. And the fifth and final person to enter is a familiar-looking individual to you all. A tall, heavily muscular human male with dark skin, shaved head, no facial hair, wearing used but well-maintained half-plate armor that has spiked pauldrons kind of coming over the shoulder. You recognize this as the individual who came to your house a couple days ago and asked you all some more questions, specifically about the warehouse and about your connection to Sita Malor.
We passed that. I think he believed us.
I'm not so sure. I got a feeling that the descriptions or like the visual of these people assembled, that must sound familiar to Spoot.
Make a history check, Spoot.
Sure, you did talk to Sita about them.
Okay, a 13. Yeah, with a 13, you get the feeling that these people roughly match the description that you got from Sita Malor about the Council of 5 on the Fae Harbor, the 5 chairs, as they're called.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Right?
So while standing, the 5 tell the audience to be seated, and everybody steps up, or everybody sits back down.
Do we have a table, or are we all standing?
There is a couple of tables set out for you all, and each table has like 2 chairs, so you kind of just spread out. But you can see that there are guards like around the chamber, and plus the dark-skinned human male that you recognize, the bald guy. He's still got a big ass sword like on his back. So,
can I try to see if there's anyone from the Red Crows that we've seen in the room?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Not my passive.
No, because you are actively looking for this.
God damn it! All right, 28.
Oh, not my passive. Rolls a 28.
Oh no! Now I'm just gonna be that person. 29.
Wonderful. I love it. Yeah, looking around, The only red crows you recognize in this room are Jathleen and Kaelin.
So no Bimbo, whatever his name was, Bodo.
No Bodo. Nope.
Okay. So no fireballs in this chamber, hopefully.
Bimbo. Okay.
Hopefully
Yeah.
not.
Hopefully.
That was close.
Yeah. So a woman steps up and announces, "These 5 have been brought before the Council of Fey Harbor on the following charges: trespassing, disturbing the peace, and murder. First to represent and testify, Sergeant Pennant Glander is called forth." And you see the sergeant who, Adis, you talked to after the fireball stands up. And he begins testifying about what happened. You were a victim of a fireball incident. You were brought in, and that is where you first told the guard of your accusations against both Bodo Proudbody as a representative of Baron Oligar Greyclaw and Oligar Greyclaw himself. And that is where you first told them of the reports of Southbrook and all the terrors that befell that town. The sergeant goes on to report that he had issued orders for a rider to be sent forth to Southbrook to gather information. And upon returning, has pretty much confirmed most of what you told the sergeant there. So it seems like that's a point in your favor. When he is finished, the woman stands up again and calls forth Sergeant Wilben Tartle to testify. And the guy who placed you in protective custody goes up. He testifies that he responded to reports of thunder and explosions at the estate of Baron Oligar Greyclaw, and upon arriving found you all there over numerous corpses and destruction. And the party, pretty much after a conversation, admitted that you all had entered forcefully and engaged in battle with the residents in order to rescue one Kaelin Varger, husband of the defendant Adis Varger. And he indicates who is who as he is asked by the court, or the council in this case. Yeah. The accused, he then goes on to explain that you all had, yeah. He goes on to say that he goes on to say that during this explanation, you all had pretty much told him everything that you had told Sergeant Glander a couple days before Adis, except that you had somehow acquired this information that Kaelin had been abducted by these Red Crows and Greyclaw. He does also report that the entire party willingly agreed to be held in protective custody until this hearing before the council. So you are all cooperating, which also seems to be a point in your favor. Yeah. The woman...
Ugly goblin smile.
Yeah. The woman then calls forth one Kaelin Varger to testify, during which Kaelin Varger admits that he was a member of the Red Crows, and felt like there was no way for him to safely extricate himself, but that he was the one who was in charge of operating a warehouse in the Docks District that was used to house all the products of forced labor coming out of Southbrook. He explains that he felt the most he could do was to try to ease quotas and lessen punishments as much as he could by his bookkeeping if he did too much, he knew that Oligar would know, but he didn't really see a way out of it. And following an attack on the warehouse by unknown thugs, he was taken by Oligar and the Red Crows and pretty much beaten up and tortured. And he kind of struggles to get through the last bit of it, kind of in a remembering what he endured during that very long evening for himself. He sits down, and Jathleen is then called to testify. And she claims that was also a member of the Red Crows and corroborates Kaelin's testimony, but also that she was compelled by higher morals to defect and aid those 5 accused here in their mission to rescue Kaelin and expose or overthrow Oligar and drive out the Red Crows from Fey Harbor. She sits down. The woman stands up. Whoever this court official is, she then calls forth Archivist Seda Malor, who stands up and approaches the court. As Seda is called not as a witness in this case exactly, but to present related evidence that does impact this case. Seda presents the council with a letter written in Giant, along with an accompanying translation that was recovered from Southbrook, which has come into his possession via various sources that he has access to.
Mysterious.
And he claims that this is what prompted his investigation into Oligar and his concerns that he voiced with the council a few days earlier. He also brings forth a book and 2 ledgers, all of which he claims he recovered from thieves from the black market following this warehouse raid and the selling of ill-gotten gains. One is a ledger that details the warehouse inventories with coded notes that he has deciphered about how to disrupt or modify orders to make things easier on the townfolk of Southbrook, which appears to corroborate the story offered by Kaelin Varger. Another completely coded ledger is presented to the council, along with a translation, which details the crimes of Oligar Greyclaw in a sort of boastful way, including data that he had collected, which he was intending to attempt to use to blackmail his way into power here in Fey Harbor.
Oh, damn.
The cipher, he claims, was broken using the 3rd book as a source, which he reveals to be a copy of very grisly, grotesque poetry that was written in Giant. He then seats himself. The council thanks each of the witnesses and then looks to you. And the early 40s gentleman in the long seafaring coat with the big hat and all the feathers coming out of it. Right, well. Do you all have anything you'd care to add, then?
I like your hat.
Anything relevant to this case?
I look at Spoot.
Do I?
Yeah, no. Spoot's like, nah, I got this. I don't know what I'm going to say, but words are going to come out of his mouth. Spoot's kind of addressing. No, Spoot will just say thank you for listening to the evidence presented by all of those in attendance today. I think that I can speak for the rest of us when I say that we just tried to do right by the people of Southbrook and for the previous members of the Red Crows that are sitting here with us that now have some freedom from their, servitude.
Evil overlord.
Yeah.
And does anyone else have anything they'd care to add to this? No? Very well. In that case, this
I grew
council...
a party.
In that case, this council will subjugate its ruling. And they seem to, like, lean back a little bit and trade various bits of paper across as the guy in the middle kind of counts it all. And then writes something down and passes it forth to the woman. This council hereby finds the 5 individuals, 1 Defect, 1 Grig, 1 Olive, 1 Spoot, and 1 Atis Varger, guilty of the crimes of trespassing, public disturbance, and murder. However, the council also acknowledges that they were acting under duress with the best of intentions and fearful of the life of another. Therefore, this group is hereby sentenced to time served in custody and allowed to go free, with thanks of the council for having exposed the villainous Grey Claw. And the woman then hands the paper back, and you see like a stamp put on it. And then they hand another piece of paper to the woman. And she reads
Never
out.
return.
Right.
And she reads out, "The council hereby acknowledges the risk of the 2 prisoners, Kaelin Varger and Jathleen, that they took in attempting to defect or reduce the damage caused by Grey Claw and his Red Crow organization. However, they are still guilty of being part of a seditious criminal organization. The council offers them clemency and amnesty on the condition that they work with the city guard of Fay Harbor under the direction of Captain Targal Quartermain to ensure that these Red Crows do not return, and the expectation of continued cooperation with the ongoing investigations into Grey Claw and his organization." And she hands the paper back, and you see another stamp go down on it. After that, the older human man with the jewels and the very fine clothes and everything stands up. "All right, lads and lasses, that's all for today. Everybody go home. We'll continue more of this later." And he bangs like a round rock or like an orb or something on a wooden pedal, and people start leaving. And the guards kind of Jathleen and Kaelin were like on a little dais, kind of under guard behind a little, like, not a cage, but like in banister essentially, and they are let go. And they walk up to you. The guards leave, except for those whose job it is to stay here and hang out. Archivist Seda Malor catches your eye, Spoot, and nods to you, and make an insight check for me, Spoot.
You're the only one of us. No, I guess Adis gets excited about that.
Oh, well, the natural one. He nodded to you.
You know,
Dude is caught up in the moment.
How does that? Okay.
you're panicking a little.
Yeah, I mean, Spoot was a little like the whole time feeling guilty. He's like, well, we didn't tell the whole truth.
Adis
Um,
hits Spoot.
For the good of the party, I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Fair enough.
I hope they don't have double jeopardy.
Honestly, if they interrogate me by myself, all bets are off, though. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I will abandon you to avoid arrest. Sorry.
Yeah, it seems like you have been not cleared. You were all found guilty, but the 4 days or so you spent in custody seem to have been enough under the circumstances to consider the council. The council has considered you're good enough. You're well off. So you
I
are
could
all
use it.
apparently free to do whatever you want.
I think Spoot will just like try to thank the 5 seats as they exit.
Oh, they
probably-
don't exit anywhere near you. They like get off their dais and walk out another door,
Oh,
like in the back of
okay.
the room.
Spoot's just like, thank you. Oh, bye.
Greg, did you see that hat?
Yeah, it was friggin' great. I want one now, I think. But it didn't need to be red. Maybe
It would
it's
look-
gold feathers.
It would look good on you. It'd go with that like red cape thing that you have.
Right? It'd be a really good look. Also, is this what court's always like? Because that's not bad. I was hearing that like court was like really scary and you'd like go to prison and stuff. That's how things work back home, kind of. There's not really a court in the same way. It's not this fancy. But like, I don't know. I always thought that the law was trouble. This was easy.
We had just village elders judge, but no, this is different. This ended better than I thought it was going to.
Spoot will say, well, I've never been in court myself, or in a city, really. But I did get the impression that the politics of this city perhaps are unique to this city. And so who's to say? I hope we don't end up in court again to test this theory.
Yes.
It's
Because
just
I
good
believe-
that we chased Greyclaw out, and that he wasn't on the council.
I feel that I feel a little relief now, knowing that the guards have the evidence and are actively aware, and maybe will do something to stop him in the future. But I have a feeling that we have not seen the last, or heard the last, I should say, of Baron Greyclaw.
Oh, I don't
feel
think
like
you
we
have.
definitely pissed him off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Caitlin tends to agree with you and kind of. He's not one to suffer defeat or humiliation, so I'm sure he'll plan something.
Yeah. Well, in the very least, it seems that the city guard are at least aware. And Kaylin, I believe that you and oh gosh, I just blanked her name. It's not Kathleen.
Jezebel?
Jathleen.
Kathleen.
It's Jesseline. Jetleen.
Yes. I believe that the two of you are owed more service to the city guard in what, providing information to help combat the resurgence of.
Well, yeah, we were. So they brought us to identify a few individuals because when the archivist brought in that note to Lakama, they didn't know who Lakama was, so we had to identify that body separately. They didn't let us interact once they got us to their offices or whatever. So we had to give more information, and because of the length of time that I've spent with the Red Crows, they were willing to be lenient, but I have to aid them and either in rooting out any Red Crow informational sources that are still in town, or helping to ready the town against a possible attack. And Jethleen's under the same restrictions, so we're not prisoners, but we've kind of been conscripted.
I see.
Not the worst that could happen.
No,
but
they
it
Probably
could.
could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, they could have locked us away or executed us or something. So I'm totally okay with this.
Or
And
death by Greyclaw.
Well, you
yeah,
are.
exile and being alone and him being out there would not be a pleasant thing.
What you are, I'm guessing, unable to leave the city. It sounds no.
I mean, not for a while. We definitely have to. Well, we have a lot of work we have to do and a lot of information that we have to volunteer and go through and put forth. And they've still got Tower Manor that they're combing through, looking for stuff in case anything has been missed over the last couple of days. And the important thing is that we're free to go wherever we want within the city. So we can go to a bar or go for a walk.
Drinks, yes.
Yeah, perhaps
Getting really bored of this mushroom liquor.
perhaps a bar sans Bodo is in order.
That's fair. I got some stuff I want to sell.
Yeah. So as you all exit this court after having this little chat, you see the archivist talking to a few people kind of casually. And Adis, you see he clocks you as you all exit, and he kind of seems to make excuses to those people he's talking to and then heads towards you.
Hurry, run! Just kidding.
That would not look suspicious at all.
Spoot, I think the archivist wants to speak with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably about that nod I couldn't interpret earlier.
Oh yeah, I saw that. You didn't know what he was trying to tell you?
Shut up.
So he comes over, he's got his long salt pepper hair braided behind his head with a little thong, and he's wearing his holy symbol. I'm glad things seem to go well for you all today. How fortuitous that I was able to gather this information about this seditious group in a time that coincided with your trial.
I think some prayers must have been answered. And, well, I don't know who to thank exactly, but I'm very thankful.
The knowing mistress does what she can to help us all. And it certainly is helpful that I have a few people who are able to translate some very grisly giant poems.
Yes, perhaps one day I'll have to see if I can learn a thing or two about the decoding, the process that you went through. But I think for now, I'm not interested.
That's understandable. To be quite honest, it's all something we can all learn at some point. There's plenty of time. Now, if you ever feel like you need to ask any questions, or if you need some more research that may help you in your obviously heroic endeavors, by all means, come by the Library of Three over here in the Open Air District, and I would be happy to get to know you all a little bit better and see if there's a way we might collaborate on a project in the future.
I think
I do owe you some information as well.
Insight check?
Go ahead,
Greg's
Greg.
trying to understand this conversation.
Yeah.
Greg gets that there's lying, but also just like what's happening.
Yeah, go ahead, Greg.
I just
Not
picture
lying.
like Greg's eyes looking up.
Ooh, with an 18.
Yeah, and I'm like
Greg.
raising my eyebrows every once in a while and being like, I
Yeah.
know that we're not supposed to be related. Also, what's going on right now? Why
Yeah,
are we even
it
talking
is-
if we're not supposed to talk?
Yeah, it is confusing at first, but then you realize, like, it's all show. Like, this whole, like, how fortuitous that our paths crossed at this moment, how lucky for you guys, is totally an excuse for him to be able to be seen, meeting you for the first time officially in public, and kind of giving him a way to, like, call upon you if he needs anything, or for you to come find him if you need anything. Like, he's giving you guys a pretty much like the public approval, like, and now it's okay if people know we're friends now, sort of thing. Not that he's telling you that, like, now's the time to talk about stuff that we should talk about in private. But
And he's not like trying to say like, I have a job for you. He's just like, now we know each other, and it won't be weird when you come and bug me.
essentially, yeah.
Okay. All right. Greg can understand that eventually.
That's good. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, like hopefully Spoot understands, although his insight earlier was shit.
During the conversation with your passive insight, you pick it up.
Okay. Well, Spoot will look at Defect and say, referencing Seda, Defect, I think we really could use a trip to the library. There was some research you wanted to try to do, wasn't there?
Yes. And this place bores me. I need to move. Do something.
We just
Guys,
finished
don't
getting out of court scot-free. That's
Wait,
not research. Let's go celebrate first.
Time out. Sorry, what time is it?
It's late afternoon, like
Okay.
approaching evening. Honestly,
Spoot would say,
your
yes,
hearing didn't take that long, but like it took you some time to get here, and it was late afternoon when you left.
Yeah. Well, Spoot will say, yeah, of course. I mean, well, perhaps tomorrow morning. we, after a good rest and some relaxation, not under house arrest, we'll have to come visit the Library of Threes.
Yeah, which, by the way, this means that that house you were in is no longer an option for your lodging, so you'll have to find.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Greg's gonna be like,
places.
so where are we gonna stay?
can go
Yes.
I brought my stuff. Did I bring
We
all my
can-
stuff?
Your stuff
Yeah,
has
we can bring
been gathered. Like anything you didn't bring was gathered by the guards and is handed to you as you exit the building.
Yeah, they probably
Got it.
didn't let us come in with weapons, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, wanted to empty my room and all that stuff. I had my blanket out, I was living there.
Yeah, pretty much anything that wasn't in the house when you got there has been returned to your group.
Your pillow's
Sure.
missing, Greg.
It's in the back of holding, don't worry. Should we return to the place that we first stayed, maybe see if they can offer us some food, refreshment, and maybe there's another room?
Well, that was my that was what I
That
was
sounds
thinking.
like a good idea.
Okay. Well, Seda, if we may, we'll take our leave and then hopefully get to have a proper introduction at the library tomorrow.
Of course, come whenever you feel you would be up to it. Enjoy your evening. A pleasure to meet you officially for the first time.
And you as well.
And he kind
Bye-bye.
of smiles and winks at you all and walks out.
All right, we're leaving town tonight.
As you exit the building, Jathleen looks at you all and says, "Not that it hasn't been fun the last couple of days, but I think I'm gonna find a place of my own."
All right,
That's
bye.
fair.
That's understandable. Jathleen, it was a pleasure to meet you as well. Thank you. And who knows, perhaps we'll cross paths again one day.
I didn't think I would ever say this, but I'm glad you convinced me to rethink things. So thanks for that.
Well, I'm very glad that you did reconsider. And I hope that we're all free of the anxious fear of this Baron returning. So perhaps it can be cleared up.
We'll find out. And she kind of just nods to you all and takes her small little rucksack that she has and just kind of walks off into town. Kaylin kind of watches her go and looks towards you, Adis, and is like, "Lead the way." And kind of just you see him kind of imperceptibly turn his hand in a certain direction, offering you the chance to grab it if you so wanted to.
Aw.
He wants to hold your hand.
Sure, and then I will yank aggressively and just drag him to the bar.
Yeah, you and kind of pull him along, and he quickly catches up to you, and you realize that he can move pretty quick, as well. Maybe not as quick as you can, but he does keep up, and he is laughing.
Still spry for his age.
Indeed, and he is laughing as you pull him away towards. Where are you going? You're going to.
Where we stayed the first time.
Something.
The above decks.
Yeah.
That sounds right,
I
yeah.
was gonna say something about a frog.
Yeah.
I knew it was something with a boat. I
Yeah.
just couldn't remember.
Totally. Yeah, you arrive at the above decks. The proprietor there, Vidar Grandsept. Oh, welcome back, you folks. I thought you had left town. But here you are. Welcome back to the above decks. What can I do for you all?
We're gonna need rooms for the night, food, and lots of drinks.
Ha ha ha. Those things I can provide for you, absolutely. Now tell me, how many rooms you be wanting?
There's 2 beds in each room, right?
Oh, for most of them. There are, of course, a couple of smaller rooms or rooms with a single larger bed available, if that's what you desire.
Just pushing this, aren't you?
It's an inn! He has different
Greg is-
options.
Oh my god, Greg is staring at the hands and nudging Defect and being like,
Get a room.
But
Four,
yes,
four,
yes.
3, 4? I don't know. Spoot, are you still sleeping?
I can make myself comfortable in any room. Really.
Well, it looks like there are 6 of you, so 3 double rooms.
Sure.
Wonderful. Well, I'll get those straightened up for you. And why don't you have a seat at the bar and we'll get you some drinks. Any like whistles and calls for one of his like staff to go get 3 rooms made up. So you are all at the bar, and it's I'm leaving it up to you how much you are willing to spend at this bar for food and whatnot.
1 platinum.
1 platinum.
No, I'm just. I don't know. Honestly, I think Greg has all of that anyway. So
It's all my money.
Yeah, Spoot definitely wants a meal, and I think like Spoot's not a big drinker, unlike me, but he will partake in And what did I drink last time? He had that fancy. Was it here that we tried the fancy spirit that was made by like water nymphs or something? I gotta look at my notes. Again.
There was like the squid ink one. There was.
Was it here?
No, actually, I think it was Was it here or the other place? 'Cause
No,
I
it
know-
was
I thought
here.
the other place.
No, it
Oh,
was
It was
really?
here. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna have.
This is where you did like the adventurous drinking.
That's right. I'm
Because
gonna ask
this
if
is the
he-
place that is like the more higher upper end stuff. It has the more interesting variety.
Okay, I'll ask if that is available again, because I realized it probably was like a limited supply thing.
Which one do you want? Do you want the black ink drink, or do you want the or the mermaid stuff?
That was it, the mermaid stuff. Sorry, I was
Okay.
like trying to find it in my notes. Yeah, whatever I like, what made me feel like I heard Aquan or whatever. It was an
Mhm.
That's a
experience.
bubbly one, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the one.
Yeah. He still has it. Not many people know about it, so he's happy to share it with you all.
Just me. What have we?
Yeah,
shit.
I mean, it's 5 gold a glass for like a fingerful. So
Yeah, that's fine. I think Spoots needs this right now.
yeah. Adis, Kalen does kind of like look at you real quick. He's like, my money hasn't been cleared from the investigation yet, so can I owe
We
you?
have a ton.
Oh, you found. Oh, good.
Ah,
I mean, yeah.
I was.
Greg, he's fine.
I wondered if you had found Oligar's hoard, for lack of a better term.
Oh, if Greg here is good at anything, it is finding anything shiny.
Got it. And he kind of like smiles and nods towards you, Greg.
I smile and nod back.
Great.
Eh.
Wasn't there didn't this place have a nice whiskey?
It does, yes.
Yes, that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's up to you how much money you choose to spend. If you want to get like super trashed, you can spend like 30 gold and have a good meal and get sufficiently buzzed on like
A person?
top shelf stuff.
30 gold a person? Or
Yeah.
30 gold total?
Each.
I
a person.
imagine each. Should we just
if it's all about how much you want to drink. Like if
Yeah.
you just want to like eat and have like sociable drinking, then it's probably more like 10 gold for the night.
That's what Greg will do.
That's what Spoot will do.
I'll do 20 gold.
Okay,
'Cause
yeah.
that's already a lot for Greg. Like,
Yeah.
that's fancy.
Kalen will match you, Adis, so
All right, I'll cover him for the evening as well.
cool.
Yeah. Because we haven't split. We hadn't have a chance to split what we got yet, right?
No, it's all just
Yeah.
deep in the
Okay.
bag.
All right.
It's all Greg's.
I just want to make sure I didn't miss we had split it in Discord or something, and I just hadn't put it in yet.
Rick's
No.
like, oh no, there was a hole in the bag in the exact
There's a
corner
hole
that I
in
placed
space.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. So defect, it's up to you how much defect partakes.
You know what? Defect will not partake.
That's also
He's
okay.
Already do
yeah,
it.
he's gonna be sad about not doing anything. It's just like it's all been this talking in the court, more talking, more
Yeah.
talking at the bar now. He's just kind of like getting restless.
Oh, this library is not going to be the
Yeah,
trip.
I
is it?
think I think defect is not one who is like used to hiding how he feels about such thing. He doesn't hide his restlessness. So you're all pretty aware that defect is getting a little antsy.
Defect, I'll spar you again tomorrow.
Not the same,
Ooh.
Adis. I know all
Do you
your
want to do a
moves.
fight?
We
What if
could
you
do
could
a
make some
fight.
money on a fight? Are there
Not-
fights in this town?
Let's maybe not tonight. I don't want to be bruised tonight.
Well, we could ask our barkeep if he knows of any such information.
Defect
mean
likes fights.
immigrant
I mean, except when he's
club?
forced to fight.
Are you going
Uh,
to? I mean, none of you have any idea if that kind of
I can
stuff
maybe-
is here.
I have other
Correct.
questions for the bartender or the barkeep, so I can go ask him that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ask that. Yeah, find out.
Yeah. By the way, the rooms cost 2 gold each. So
I'm just paying for
I
my
think-
room.
okay.
Y'all are paying for your own.
Who's with Spook? Olive?
I'm
Easy
assuming.
enough? Yeah,
Sure.
easy enough. All right, I'll pay the 2 gold for Olive and I.
okay. Cool.
Spoliv.
Out.
No.
We gotta stop with those, I guess.
Great. Cool. So what are you? So you're gonna ask questions of the bartender, Adis?
Yes.
All right.
Or the barkeep. Because he's the owner, right?
Yeah. He owns
Okay.
he owns the place.
Then he'd probably know.
Vidar,
Then he'd probably have some answers.
possibly.
So I'll go up and Vidar, I have a couple of questions. Some of it might be a bit odd, but please bear with me.
Well, by all means, what can I do for you?
One,
Anything to make your stay more enjoyable is my pleasure, I assure you.
well, that's the thing. I don't know. This city's kind of nice. I'm not much of a city person. I grew up in a village in the forest, but
Why?
that's where I was born. It wasn't really my choice.
Oh, I didn't mean to imply it wasn't a good thing. I was just acknowledging that it was different.
Oh, but I'm just curious because you're the owner here. So I was just wondering, do you know anything about like general costs of buildings here in this city?
Oh, that depends. On what neighborhood you're looking at. A rundown tenement in a cast-off, few hundred gold maybe. But
About like a decent size, like not super upscale, maybe like middle class, lower middle class to begin with.
Let's see. Well, I mean, I bought this place here a few years back, and when I did so, it was pretty expensive. It was a few thousand gold.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I had to put a few more hundred into upgrading a few things. You know, I bought it. It was fairly new at the time, but it wasn't quite all fleshed out interior-wise. You know, had to put in the bar, separate a few of the rooms, that kind of thing.
Just because, I mean, we tend to travel a lot, but having like a home base would be nice, possibly. So
I haven't been much in the property game recently. Let me. I can make some inquiries. If you'll be interested in such a thing.
If you wouldn't mind, I don't know necessarily. We haven't been here that long, so I don't know who to talk to or where to go for it.
Well, what kind of place you be looking to live? I mean, not all of the cast-offs are, run-down, slovenly holes. Like, some of them are fairly decent. Then you can always try to live on the outer skirts of the dock district. Fairly well-made construction, but, it can be a bit loud and noisy with comings and goings and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's my personal favorite here, the open-air district, with lots of markets and the main shopping areas not too far off, a lot of the stuff around. There's
Maybe
if you have a lot of money, you could always try for a manor up in the fine district. But
I don't
those
think we're
those
there in
be
our
very
adventures
pricey.
yet.
Aye, they're a bit much.
Maybe one in maybe the dock areas or the open air district would possibly be doable. Like, we're not looking to start a business, but just like somewhere to come back to.
Someplace more residential, then.
Yeah. And nothing like, we won't be here all the time, so nothing super fancy, but yeah, I don't know if you know any people to talk to about this or if anything like that.
Hey, I'll look around and I make some inquiries and see if I can't find something in the next day or so for you.
I appreciate it. And then the other thing, and it will just like lean in a little bit closer. Our big construct-looking friend, he's been getting a little antsy and likes to fight. I don't know. Do you know of anything around here that?
That was a weird way to ask that.
I'm not charismatic. I grew up in the woods. What do you want from me?
Well,
Where can he fight?
there's of course a few places where one can go to work out aggression. There's a few training fields. Usually the guards do that, but I suppose it is possible to find such a place. Hey, just make an insight check. Mm-hmm.
25.
25. Very nice. So you get a sense that he is talking out of his ass. He's not really sure there is such a thing here. It doesn't mean there isn't, but he just probably doesn't know about it.
All right, that's fair.
He seems like he's willing to try to investigate for you.
Yeah, I mean, not so much the Fight Club, but just the properties, at
Mhm.
least. The Fight Club was more of a shot in the dark.
Yeah, he'll see what he can do.
And I'll go back to the table.
Cool.
Fight?
Fight?
Want to fight?
So
No, he doesn't seem to know anything about that. There's just, I mean, there's some training fields where the guards go. But that's about it. But I mean, maybe if Defect is convincing enough, he can train against the guards.
Well, I mean, Defect, I'll be honest, I'm not much of a drinker myself. I've enjoyed a couple of rounds of this lovely mermaid spirit, but there's a lot of the city we haven't seen. How do you feel about some fresh air walking about?
Defect, you can also fight Kalen. As long as you don't.
You could fight Olive. I'm in control of Olive tonight, so...
Kalen kind of arches his eyebrow. He's like,
Lol.
I mean, I'm not much of a fighter. I'm more of an archer.
He's a lover.
I look at Adis and say,
He actually
I-
kind of like blushes when you say that, Spoot.
I appreciate that you will throw your husband at me, but some fresh air will satisfy me instead. And Defect will just stand up and start walking out.
Oh, well, okay. So Spook will quickly. He'll be like, here's some gold for the tab, and try to follow.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. So, Defect, you walk outside. What do you want to do outside?
I will pick a random direction and just start walking.
Great. Roll a d4 for me.
All right. Dose.
All right. So, Spoot, you're following Defect. So you come out and you see Defect just sort of start walking east, kind of like towards the main gates of the city, of the town.
I think Spook's gonna try to feel this out. Also, I can't tell if the mic's picking up the beginning of my sentences, so if it's not, let me know.
Yeah, you're good.
Good.
Oh, good. I think Spook's just going to feel the situation out, perhaps, if possible, just using his normally decent powers of insight to let Defect take the lead on this. If he doesn't want to talk, we're not going to talk. If he wants to talk, we'll talk.
Yeah. Defect, you are just walking, so it's up to you what you want to say and do.
At this point, what are we seeing so far? What's on the streets? What's happening?
So there are people out and about walking around. There are lanterns that are lit out in front of buildings on the street. This part of the town is, it's like the main. You're getting into like the main markets. Specifically, you're getting close to the city center, which is where that large meeting hall where you were held in council was. You can see there's like a bunch of shops. You see the road down which Impressive Feats is, that magic supply store. Most shops seem to be closing except for like the odd bar or restaurant. But it's just people having a night, heading home to get up early for the next day. The architecture is mostly like 2 stories at most. The fact that the library is a 3-story building makes it stand out a little bit more. You know that having been there previously.
Allegedly.
Well, you've been there.
Okay. So I feel like for the longest time, as we're walking, just complete silence. I'm not saying anything. Spoot's feeling like he shouldn't say anything until I say something. Until we get to a point, I don't know, maybe like 30 minutes after leaving the bar, where Defect will just say, I do not belong. These rules, these laws, they keep me grounded. And then poetically, Defect will look up into the sky, and say something corny like, I belong up there, or at least outside these walls.
Defect, as you look up, make a nature check for me.
All right. Journey.
Get struck by lightning.
Hailstone
Did
right in
show
the
up.
eye.
Olive, dang it.
All right. With a 16 Defect, you are staring up at the sky and you see the 2 moons that circle Nuuli. And something clicks in your subconscious that, that looks familiar. Except they're not quite as like full or as round as the ones that are triggering in your memory. But they look like they're almost there. Just not quite.
Right.
You figure like it's the dual full moon is probably 5 or 6 days away, maybe a week.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that being in my mind right now. I'll explain the dream I had to Spook and ask him for his interpretation.
Okay, no pressure.
Be my dream reader. What does it mean?
Oh boy. What is the dream?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
Weren't there or
forgot. I mean, I wasn't there, but also I forgot what Jared told you.
Right. The dream I had was I dreamt that I was a wolf. Right, Jared? I got a sense that I was a wolf, or at least a creature of some sort.
Yeah, you
running
didn't get a sense of like
fast.
what creature you were, but you definitely knew you had 4 legs.
Right. And, in this dream, all I did was run through this field with the moons above me.
And the moons like kept drawing your attention in the dream, like you kept looking up at them. Like they were
Mhm.
prominent in the dream.
Okay, I'm gonna attempt to give a sort of interpretation of Spook, but then perhaps also request. I don't know
Guidance?
if Spook can make a roll. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like if there's something that can help me, but like I have like a.
Yeah, I will allow you to make an insight check on this dream, Spoot.
Okay. Oh God. Don't fail me now.
Oh!
Natural 20. Oh, dang. Spoot the dream reader.
Spook
Okay.
is being
I mean, I'm somewhat of a dreamer myself.
All right, Spoot, here's what you get on hearing this dream. You know that Defect is a individual who identifies with beasts of nature. Wolves, eagles, creatures of land, sea, air. Like, he identifies with them. It's weird. The fact that the moons were more prominent than like the form, the body he was in, sticks out to you because the moon is a very powerful image. Because there are numerous gods that claim to be associated with the moon. Most of them are the biggest one is an elven deity named Sanin. She is the moon goddess in the elven pantheon. Or Saloon, sorry, Saloon. So Salune is the elven goddess of the moon, and she kind of looks over lovers and secrets and things that doesn't really apply to Defect. But you do know that moons can also be dangerous. You know that there are creatures who become dangerous underneath a full moon. You fought them, actually, with Defect. Where creatures can turn on the full moon. And it doesn't need to be both moons are full. It can just be one of the moons is full and it still activates. Nuuli's kind of weird that way. But during a double full moon, they can absolutely be very dangerous. And the fact that Defect couldn't tell what he was is interesting. Like, why didn't he know what he was in the dream? Why didn't he know if he was a wolf or a bear or whatever? And as you're thinking about it, Spoot, you remember that when you did fight were creatures, they were wereboars. And boars run on 4 legs. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything. You do know also that the moon is about hiding secrets, and there's a lot of unknowns about Defect. And it could also be that these unknowns are trying to get out or trying to get to the surface.
Should I do my best RP of that information, or is it sufficient that.
I mean, this is just what Spoot gets, and you can be like, I convey that. Like, I'm not going to.
Oh, sure. I'm happy to convey it. I'm happy to convey it as Spoot, but for the sake of boring the audience, perhaps I'll give it a bridge version. So yeah, Spoot will think for a moment. He'll kind of have a long ponder, and he'll say, he'll bring up the like, Defect, you definitely have a unique connection to animals. I'm thinking of the totem that you were given from Adis and your night talking with the eagles. I'll carry on into my thoughts on the moon. There may be some significant, some religious significance there, but given that it was a dream you had, perhaps not, et cetera, et cetera. I'll end by kind of recalling this sort of like, I can't help but remember our encounter with the werewolves that we had, and that sticks out in my mind. Perhaps it means nothing, but I do know that it is a sort of animalistic instinct that is, or power, I guess, unlocked by the moon.
When he mentions that, when I think about it, do I feel different? Do I feel
Make
any sort of...
make a medicine check. Because it's yourself, you can have advantage.
$18?
Okay, with an 18, you don't feel any different. You feel antsy because you haven't been like moving and fighting or challenging yourself the last few days, really. But nothing physically feels different about you.
Oh,
Are you smacking
I
Defect?
smack. Yeah, I smack. Yeah, I do. I pulled the like the Lion King scene, where he smacks him on the head. No, I don't know why I rolled that. That was an accident.
Spook pulls out the baton of morale and just starts going ham on passersby.
I wish I could remember Rafiki's line now, but anyway. Yeah, so Spook will say like, okay, well, this much I know, Defect. There is a lot to discover about who you are, why you're here, your past, and perhaps some of that is coming to the surface. Perhaps maybe in these dreams there are bits of information, messages. I'm happy to talk about these again if it happens again, and I would love to learn more about, well, anything we can in regarding your past. I don't know if a trip to the library, it may be a little boring, but if you want to return back again, I suppose we could pick up where we left off the first time.
That would not be a bad idea. But then, Defect will dramatically stop walking, turn to Spoot, and he'll say, I do not know much about who or what I am, but I do know this. I do not want to die in a city. Promise me this, Spoot. Promise me. And I'll stare deeply into it. I will activate my ego vision, stare into his soul to make sure that he is promising me.
I just hear in the distance, Kaka! Yeah, Spook will take this very seriously.
Right.
I don't think it takes a passive insight of 18 to see that is means a lot to him. And will say that I will do everything in my power to keep everyone alive, but especially I hope none of us die in a city. I agree with you there, Defect. I can't stay here much longer myself. This is not where I was meant to be. It was an interesting experience. I have learned some things. But for me, the journey must continue.
That is correct. And if I'm not mistaken, we still must deliver Curly's ashes, yes?
Oh, yes, you're right. I nearly forgot. I would like to see that through, as I'm sure you would as well.
Yes.
Right.
All right.
And
I
you
guess
two
we can move
continue
forward.
walking. Back at the inn, what's going on? Are you guys just having a good time and going to bed?
I'm playing dice, and then I'm going to bed.
All right.
I'll play dice with Greg.
All right. Both of you roll 3d6.
But I'm proficient with the dice set.
Then you can roll 6, then roll it twice at advantage.
Alright.
Okay. Greg rolls a 12.
No, I rolled a 12.
Oh no, Adis rolled a 12. Greg rolls a 9. Adis wins.
Dang. Do it again. Oh, I clicked. Nope, that's a 3.
All right. Adis rolls a 12 again.
Ooh.
And Greg rolls a 12 and a 10. It's a draw. Nobody wins.
Do it again.
All right.
One more time.
All right. Greg rolls a 14. Adis rolls a 13. Greg wins.
You beat me by 1.
Yeah.
Alright, that was fun.
All right. A few games of dice out of the way. It's a net loss, net win thing. Clean slate. Everybody eventually returns to the inn, and you all go to bed. Get a rest in. Very nice. And you wake up the next morning, and you've had a long rest, and we're going to take a 5-minute break. This is a perfect spot for it. So when we come back, we'll hopefully figure out what it is y'all have done during this break. So we'll be right back, everybody. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in just a few moments.
Sorry.
Hello, everyone. We are back. Thanks for waiting. We just found out that a cat was trying to eat Matt's candy. So never trust a
I'm not
cat.
upset. I'm not upset. It was cute.
Well, great. Fantastic. So you all awaken the next morning. The day is pretty much yours. When you go downstairs, the boy who's on like morning kitchen detail hands you like a folded piece of paper with a wax seal on it. And you can see that the seal is a triangle with what looks like 3 circles inside of it.
I don't know who it was handed to. But
It was handed to the first person who came down the stairs.
Spook will take it.
Yeah. Okay. Do you
Spook, what's
open
that?
it?
Well, let's read it. Let's read it.
Yeah, it's a very simple letter. It says, please, all of you, bring your friends and come to the library when you can. And it's just signed Archivist Seda Malor.
Ah, well, this is unexpected, but this is a note from our new friend, Seda Malor, at the Library of Threes, and he's requesting our presence, which, as it so happens, I was planning on going there anyway. So, is anyone else up for a trip to the library?
Yeah, okay, I'll come for a little while. If I get bored, I'm gonna go sell some stuff.
Oh, that's fair.
Mhm.
Defect, I think, I don't know what this meeting is about. Perhaps we will have time to do some research, but I understand if you get a bit restless, maybe, well, we'll see what happens. Adis, I'm so glad that you agreed to this request and lead the way.
Oh, you're muted.
I'm just kidding.
What did I agree to?
I'm just kidding. We got a note from Seda Malor requesting us all to come to the Library of Threes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To the library!
All right, we're gonna Sokka this bitch. Okay. Sorry, that was an Avatar reference. If you haven't
What
seen
Avatar?
If you haven't seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, I can't help you save your soul.
In the M. Night Shyamalan movie does not
No,
count,
no,
'cause that
no,
one doesn't exist.
No, that is blasphemy.
I like that movie. I'm just kidding.
Oh, you're fired.
You're out of this party.
Fired. That's right.
Fired.
You're dead to me.
All right. So you all begin heading towards the library. As you all file out, Kaylin stops you real quick, Adis. She's like, I think I need to go check in with the guard, with Quartermain about everything and see what I actually need to do. But I'll meet you back here later, and maybe we can go for a walk or something.
Sure. I'll see you later.
All right. Have fun.
Bye.
Bye.
I can send a message if we need to convene.
Yeah. So you.
All right.
Yeah. So the 5 of you all head off, and head on to the library. You are shown right through to Seda Malor's office. He's left a message that he was expecting you. And he is very glad to see you. He's like, I'm very glad you all were able to make it. I've been a little anxious the last few days, dealing with all that code breaking on top of all my other responsibilities.
You've been anxious.
Yeah, thanks for that, dude.
No,
How'd
we
you do
can't-
that?
I
Can I
think
learn?
we've
Thank you
all
enough.
been
It'll take a long
anxious.
time.
Well, I admit that I have many skilled scholars under my purview here, and it was a group effort, but it was indeed challenging. Had we not had that book that you handed in with the second ledger, I'm not sure we ever would have broken the cipher.
Well, I'm happy that it all worked out the way it did, and we obviously cannot thank you enough.
Of course, I think it is fortuitous that our paths crossed when they did. So, the knowing mistress.
Insight check.
Yeah, go for it.
What is he trying to
Look
say?
at Greg.
I like how Greg is like more insight checky than the two insight checkers.
Yeah, with a
I
12,
just have
with
to
a
struggle to
12, Greg.
understand interpersonal things.
With a 12, Greg, like, it seems like he's being honest.
All right, what's going on here? I guess it is fortuitous. Sure.
Religion, something.
The knowing mistress and the Horizon Walker may well have been working in concert at this time.
Who's the Horizon Walker?
But I'm a little ashamed that a member of my party has to ask that. Clearly, I'm not a good cleric.
Indeed, his eyes kind of arch up when you say that, Adis, and he kind of looks towards Spoot like, you haven't explained yourself?
Very embarrassed right now. Spoot says, perhaps I have been a little lax on some of the religious conversations with my fellow party. That would be my deity, Farlane.
Do I know that one?
Make a religion check.
Oh boy.
Oh, I'm great at these. Where is religion? Oh, there it is.
It's under R.
Ooh.
17? Yeah, you know that Farlane is not one of the most popular of deities, but he's always kind of been around. He's also known as the Horizon Walker. He's the god of not the dawn, but of horizons, and like he is a god who encourages life and learning through experience and discovery and travel and that sort of thing.
Sounds like I picked the wrong guy, but okay. I didn't even look at that option.
That would have been interesting. Maybe I'll convert Adis at some point. Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
I mean, well, I will just remind Adis that there is a temple to Melora here, but...
we haven't even explored, so...
Yeah, no. You found out, like, day one when you entered, the guard mentioned it, and you were like, oh, I'll have to go there. I was just reminding you. But it's been a few days.
Ooh.
Anyway.
A lot has happened.
Yeah.
It's been a few weeks.
Anyway, so Seda pulls y'all in to his office, and he's like, I'm very thankful that I could be of assistance to a noble group of adventurers such as yourself. You are, of course, by no means obligated, but I was hoping maybe you could assist me with something.
I believe it's perhaps the least we can do, considering recent events.
Wonderful. As the head priest of Ayun here, the knowing mistress commands that we gather knowledge and information from as many sources as possible so it can be kept safe and preserved for all time and for all people. Unfortunately, due to the breaking of shards, which is the cataclysmic event that resulted in the 1,000 years of spellstorms, much knowledge was lost, and it has been our primary duty to attempt to recover it. I have been bankrolling an expedition a few days north of the Crosscut River here to some ruins that were discovered in a sinkhole. Unfortunately, the archaeology team has not reported in about 2 weeks now. A week sometimes goes by, but I've never had this long of a delay before. And I have no personal... I have attempted to contact them and have been unsuccessful in my results. And I am unsure why that is.
Is it the message isn't going through? Is it like I don't know, can you feel it like being blocked somehow, or it just isn't hitting?
I have tried the past 2 days, and I have gotten no response.
Okay. Well, Tanner's curious.
Mhm.
Can you feel if something's like being blocked by like an anti-magic zone, or can
You
you?
could always try, yeah.
No, I'm saying like, can you feel if it isn't going through that way, or if
Yeah,
like the target just isn't there?
possibly, yeah. Essentially, it comes down to mechanically, it's either it's an Arcana roll,
Okay.
or maybe a Wisdom roll, but it's
Okay.
That would be
it's
for the
just
caster.
yeah,
right?
it's for
Right.
the caster to see if they can figure out why their spell isn't working.
I just didn't know
Honestly-
if there was like a different ping back that you might get if like
Yeah,
depending
maybe.
on the state. Okay.
Maybe I'm metagaming here, but like, I think with my little knowledge of the wisdom that Seda probably has, and knowing what's some of the spells at his disposal, meaning sending, if he doesn't know what's going on, I think he'd be, you know what I mean? Like, I think he'd be the one to know. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, he continues. The last communication that I had with them, they had just found a structure with tomes containing accounts of early days of the breaking itself. Early reports of spell storms, what they looked like, accounts from survivors. Anyway, they also made allusions to possible notes about ideas on how to combat the spell storms using their own power. But that is where the report ended, and I have not heard from them since.
And how far away was this sinkhole?
It's at a few days.
It is a
Okay.
few days beyond the river to the sinkhole. I can certainly provide you with directions. Very much, I would appreciate if you could hopefully find and recover the team, if that is a viable option.
I'll
The
pull out the world map.
Yeah, he kind of points
Hit it.
to a rough location.
He just presses start and selects map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inventory.
A
God damn it, I need
glowing
to
a
leave
glowing
things out of
dot
here.
appears. Yeah. And if they do have any information about what has happened to them, or that they have been able to recover about these sort of things, that would also be excellent. But recovery of life would, of course, be the primary mission.
Did
And
they
I can reward you all upon completion with 1,000 gold pieces.
Sold.
did they give any names of this like ruins? Like, was there any markings or?
There was some ancient form of common that they were in the process of deciphering, that they had found in various locations. There was a fair bit of animal imagery that they were deciphering. I was just getting sort of highlights from their reports over the past few months, but they obviously have more complete notes at their camp, I'm sure, for their full report.
Right.
Well, I don't mean to hastily speak for the rest of the party, but I absolutely am willing to take this journey and see what we can recover. I think both the lives of this group and the potential information they discovered are both invaluable.
And so is 1,000 gold.
And
I'm in.
yes, that is obviously a motivating factor for some of us.
I
Be good
certainly
to-
understand.
Well, I think we should supply up at least.
Of course,
At
that
least-
would be the wise
and-
thing to do.
I don't know how hastily you all would like to head out, but I would like to take some time to make sure we have everything again, and then maybe at least get a few hours of travel in this evening.
Sure. Spoot will look at Defect and say, "What do you think, Defect? Can our little research of the library wait a bit longer?"
If you are looking for
Absolutely.
something in the library, if you tell me what it is you desire, I can have some acolytes search while you are gone.
I hate to impose. You've already done so much, but I will admit that what has been pressing in our minds is we never finished some of the research that we set out to start the first day visiting this library.
Uh-huh.
And that is searching for maybe some information onto what and who and where and why defect exists.
I can set a few people onto that sort of line of questioning. Not a problem.
I know that Ada's here as well probably has lots of questions about their past, but I sense maybe that finding if we can recover the information that your research team sought after about the breaking, that may also give him some insight into his past as well.
It very well may. I am unsure about what Adis you're looking for, but
I shouldn't speak for him. I'm sorry.
We can delve into it maybe after we find some more information and come back. But
I may have overstepped. I'm sorry, Adis.
That's fine. I can leave the vial of blood here for easy transport back here, if that's okay. And if we need to get any...
Yeah, he indicates it on his desk. It's still here, so...
I mean, if we find your people and it's like a dire emergency escape thing, it might be the best route. So...
Of course. I would just hope that if it stays open for a minute, I believe is what you said.
We'll try to shoot you a message first.
I would appreciate that, and also not to have any sort of rampaging creatures charging into my office as well.
That's fair.
We'll try to finish combat first.
Well, of course, take whatever time you need to prepare yourselves, supply up. I would love if you could leave by tomorrow morning, at least. I understand this is a last-minute request, so I know it's going to take time to get yourselves sorted.
Perhaps we can even venture out this evening. I mean, the day is still young, no?
It is indeed.
Works for me.
I trust you to keep yourselves, well, you're professionals, so I trust you to take care of it as you see fit.
Well, thank you so much. If there is no further relevant information, I think that perhaps we go off to get supplies now.
All you need to know is 2 days east on the main road, you will come to a fork. Take the northern one. It will lead you to a crossing, a barge that is rope pulled across the Crosscut River. It moves very quickly, and attempting to swim across or otherwise ford anywhere for the next few hundred miles would not be recommended. It's very dangerous. And then he proceeds on to give you directions that essentially 3 days from crossing the river is where the sinkhole is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we do have a map, yeah. So, like, he could, in theory, mark a general location on.
Mm-hmm.
On the
yeah,
map.
he marks a general location of the crossing and the sinkhole.
What environment is this in? Just curious.
Oh, it's right on the border of the pastoral plains.
Sorry, you cut out. You said mountains?
No, the pastoral plains.
Oh, plains. Okay.
Yeah. So it's very similar to this side of the river, except the north side of the river is much more like grass and
Okay.
berry bushes instead of like thistle and hay, which is on this side of the river.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of what grows on either side. Nobody really knows why, but
Right. Right. Okay. Well, I mean, I do decently with getting us places, so with all of this, we should be fine.
very well. I will leave you to it then. Thank you for your aid in this matter.
All right, let's go shopping.
Should definitely get
Yeah.
some rope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely, if it's a sinkhole, like lots of rope.
Yeah.
Perhaps like grappling hooks and other like what's the little
Grab pittons.
pittons or pythons or however you say it. Yeah,
Yeah, but I call it. Yeah, I just say pittons.
I have no clue, honestly.
Pittons, hammer, crowbar, just the whole.
I do have a crowbar.
Okay.
I think I had already mentioned this. I think before, maybe it was in the chat. Like between what tools I have and what tools like Grig has, for instance, maybe we can add a few tools to our repertoire.
I don't know if we necessarily need like smith's tools or anything right now.
I honestly don't know the full list of tools. I'm trying to look that up now to see if there's anything.
I can make them.
So-
I have some tinker's tools that I can use. I have
Okay.
some old tinker's tools that I can use to make smith's tools. Is how it sort
Okay.
of reads.
I mean, ultimately, I think I'm looking for a tool that Spoot could feasibly use in a pinch with his channel divinity, but in an increment of 10 minutes. So if it's like something that, you know what I mean, like making armor, obviously that takes longer than 10 minutes. But maybe repairing armor? Ooh, I don't know. That might be tight. But like, you know what I mean?
So there are like metal smithing tools, which is what that would require.
Okay. And then
I
there's.
mean, I don't know. I've never actually had a situation where I've had to repair my armor. I mean, that could totally jinx us, but I don't necessarily.
I mean, the alternative is
Unless it's
Go
like
back in
acid
time.
damage on
Yeah.
non-magical armor. That's like the only time.
I mean, there are things you could. Okay, so for instance, I would like to get navigator's tools. I think I
Okay,
mentioned
great.
that before.
Yeah. So
Is that for the ocean?
I mean, you
Are
can
you
use navigator's
questioning my
tools
survival?
anywhere.
I better say, is it only for the ocean?
I've only
Yeah,
ever used them on the ocean.
It's handy on the ocean, but you can make maps of wherever you
I
go.
feel like if you
Use
have a
them.
Would that be
if you have a-
Distance
cartographers
forever.
tools?
Yeah, there are also
Oh.
cartographer tools. It's all just,
Or
Oh.
cartographer, yeah. Not
Shit, let's
cartographer.
get them all. Why not?
all right.
I mean,
So
actually,
Ah,
I want a calligraphy set.
all right.
I want to learn
So
how to forge.
where
that'd be a
that's
fortress kit.
that's fine. So you all set out. You head towards the market district. What kind of stuff are you looking for? Are you looking for like general supplies, specialized kits?
I'll go for general supplies.
Great.
Just like ropes and shit. And then they can go get their kits.
Yeah. Great, cool. So, Adis, you find yourself directed to a place called Eversail's Open Door. Um,
Oh, great. Can I borrow some money?
Can you?
May I?
What for?
Supplies to delve into ruins?
Oh, right. Okay. I'm just checking. Hang on. Let me reach in the bag and see how much rope we might have left. Because I thought we had a bunch.
I know I used a bunch of mine. I only have 15 feet left.
Sure. Yeah, I only have, let's see, digging around, 25 left. Yeah, here. How much gold do you need?
I don't. I can just borrow a bunch and just give you back. Like, I don't.
Okay, here's 100.
Okay. Because, I mean, this would just be mainly going towards, like, general group supplies, not personal.
cool. So yeah, you end up at Eversail's Open Door, which, appropriately enough, the door is wide open. It's like a double set of captain doors. Like the entire town is very heavily nautically themed.
Wait, is it like the saloon doors kind of things? Or like you
no,
mean
like ship
big, just
doors,
open-
like
Oh,
ship
okay.
doors.
So I was just gonna like
Yeah, no, they're already open, like, so they're
Okay.
just
Oh.
yeah. But yeah, inside you see a slender female form with kind of blue skin and hair that seems to move on its own, just kind of like uh, waving up and down, and these kind of like sky blue eyes that look at you. And she's like, as you enter, she's like, "Oh, welcome to Eversail's open door. I'm Eversail. What can I get for you today?"
Do you have I need a bunch of rope, pittons, a hammer, and maybe some like ball bearings?
Oh, of course. I have all of those things. How much would you like?
Um, what do you guys think? Like just 50 feet, or should I go for 100 for the safe side?
Go big.
Let's go big.
Also, I have a hammer and a
Oh,
pickaxe.
you already have. Oh, yeah, you have hammers, so
And
I
a
don't need a
crowbar.
hammer.
But more pittance is always good.
Yeah, I was just thinking of like kind of trying to like mass stock, so at least we don't have to do this for a while, if anything. Can I get 100 feet of rope? How much will that run me?
Well, that depends. Do you want hempen rope or silken rope? Silken rope is much lighter.
It sounds nice. We're going into ruins, so probably hempen. I don't want to ruin anything fancy.
As you wish. In that case, 100 feet of rope will be 2 gold pieces.
Oh shit. Do you want 200 feet, Greg? Or Amber?
You're the one shopping.
Jesus
I
Christ.
mean, who
I
went
didn't
with?
think it was gonna be that cheap. I haven't looked at the player's manual in a while.
Do it. Do it. 200 feet. Go for it.
I'll get an
You-
extra 100 feet. Why not?
All right. 200 feet of rope. And how many pythons would you want?
How much does a set of 10 cost?
Um, well, a set of 10 would be 5 silver.
Um,
You notice she's also just kind of moving strangely as she's speaking to you, like she's almost waving or kind of floating.
I mean, I'm familiar with the planes. I'm pretty sure I would know what she is, right?
You can make an Arcana check.
I keep looking towards my actual dice. Jesus.
Put them away.
Right?
Just kidding.
Nope, I don't know what she is.
Yeah, you've never seen anyone like her before.
Huh. I won't be rude right now. Can I get 50?
Of course. Anything else?
Hold on. So that runs me 2.5 gold if I am correct, right?
Well, it's 5 silver for 10.
Right, and I got 50.
So yeah, so that would be essentially 25 silver or 2.5 gold. So
Okay.
6.5 gold for 200 feet and 50 pythons.
It's a lot cheaper than I thought it was gonna be. And can I get a bag of 1,000 ball bearings? If you have that many?
Of course, I sell them in bags of 1,000. They're a gold each, though,
Per ball bearing or per bag?
per bag.
Oh, that's fine. Looking for another gold. Oops. All right, let me think. 200 feet of rope, 50 pythons, 1,000 ball bearings. You said you had a crowbar?
Yeah, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but
While
perhaps
while you think about what else you want, I'm going to skip back over to the other
That's
two.
fine. Yeah.
So you two, you're looking for a variety of tool sets. I'd like you both to make an investigation check for me.
Go team.
All right. Okay, cool. So Spoot, uh, you hear about a place called Haggie's, which you think might be the place you're supposed to go. Kind of people are talking about, oh, there was a great deal at Haggie's today. And Greg, you hear about a place. You hear about a place called Tool Trade.
Well, I heard about a place called Tool Trade, so I wonder if maybe we go there first, and if we're looking for any extra deals, go to Haggie's. Although Haggie's sounds fun.
Player me is both like, obviously, Haggie's is not where to go, but also, I want to know what's in Haggie's.
Here we go to Haggie's and just like find out. It sounds like a sweet spot, I guess.
No. Spoot, being the wise turtle that he is, will say, well, the name you heard has the word tool in it,
True.
and I don't know what a Haggie is. So let's start there.
I guess it's an ugly lady.
Spoot
She's
just chuckles.
beautiful. What are you talking about?
I think we go to where you heard first, and then perhaps if we don't find everything we need, then maybe Haggie's.
Okay.
Okay, great, cool.
But now I want to know.
All right, so you're going to Tool Trade, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So you take the path, and you pretty much end up pretty much right off of city center, and you enter, and the place is lined with like very nice shelves and display cases displaying all manner of like pens and ink bottles and all kinds of stuff like that. And behind the counter, you see a tall, kind of like broad-shouldered but thin-waisted half-orc, in like very like well-made clothing that's like buttoned up, and he's got like an ascot kind of a deal. And you enter, and he's got very prominent like lower tusks that stick up above his upper lips. Hello, and welcome to Tool Trade, purveyors of the finest tool kits and supplies in all of Fay Harbor, where the discerning professional gets their gear. I am Cressel. How may I be of service to you today?
Hey, Cressel. I need calligrapher's tools.
Ah, very well. I can get that for you, no problem. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm actually looking for cartographer's tools. I said that strangely.
Ah, cartographer tools. Very expensive, but very doable. I can make those 2 kits up for you right away.
I probably shouldn't be concerned, but Spoot will say, sorry, just how much is cartographer's? I can't speak. How much is the tool that I asked for?
A full set of cartographer's tools with all the measuring devices, calipers, sextant, etc., runs about 15 gold. Calligrapher's supplies, inks, pens, penknife sharpeners for extra nubs, quills, etc. That's going to be about 10 gold.
Okay.
But they come in but each tool trade tool set comes in a finely crafted box or carrying device appropriate for the kit.
I can appreciate that. Do we need? I look at Greg at this moment and say, do we need anything else? Maybe smith or carpenter tools, or do you have any of those already?
Let me look. I got some smiths and some mason, and I made some woodcarver tools a while back. I have a lot of tools, and I'm an artificer, and I can make tools.
Okay. Well, perhaps that's all we need for now, then.
All right, no problem at all. Just stand by a moment while I get those sorted out for you. And he kind of goes back around, comes back with a couple of boxes. They're like about 1.5 feet long by like 8 inches wide. He opens them up. And inside the calligrapher's tools, you see a variety of like special places for ink bottles and quills and spare quills and like some parchment, like a penknife to sharpen nubs and all that kind of stuff. So it's all there. The cartographer's tools has a little mini sextant and a compass, and like a ruler, and very fine like a distance guide and some parchment and everything you could need to make a map.
I feel like, yeah, like before my maps have been like basic, like this is a tree and dotted line.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna do it for real. Sorry, Greg, do you have wood carvers? Am I making that up? Because if not,
I
I'll
do
just
have
add.
wood carvers.
Oh, wow. That's all we need.
So you can correct me if I'm wrong, Jared. Like I have the right tool thing, like that's the artificer thing. I can make most tools. I figure something like calligraphers, I'm not gonna make ink out of nothing.
Correct.
But things like leatherworkers tools, that seems like something that's safe to assume I could fashion out of. Like I've got some old Tinker's tools sets, like leftover tools, and then I have the ones that I've been using, like because I took them.
Yeah,
from various...
because of your ability, kind of like what you need to make
Okay.
the job happen. So yeah, I would say yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm safe saying
But
that.
like any like expendable thing, like you probably couldn't just make. You'd have to spend time or buy it or whatever.
Yeah, like paper and ink and yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Exactly.
That's what I was rolling with.
Cool. All right, so you spend a total of 25 gold. 25 gold there, and head on off.
Okay, I can just Greek directly pay them back.
Cool.
What are you paying? I'm confused.
I can give Greg the 15 gold for mine. I think Spook would feel very much like I'm responsible for my tools.
Yeah, you can just buy the tools. Like it's 15 for the cartographer tools and 10 for the calligraphers.
Yeah.
So however you want to do that, you can just deduct that.
I pay for mine. Do you have gold? Do I need to give you gold?
I have some gold, but I did want to ask you, this is me talking as Spook now, I think perhaps we should consider reinvesting in a diamond.
Oh, that's a really good idea. We should get like 6.
Well, probably.
That's a lot.
We can get as many as you think.
I mean, the way that we've been going, let's be real.
I could only
How many spells of that can you do a day?
Well, at the moment, 3.
Great. So we should get 3.
Okay.
No, 4. Yeah.
Well, I can only buy 1 at the moment, so I would
That's
need some
fine.
help.
We're good.
Perhaps, I don't know. I did purchase other components last time.
And I found a bunch.
Oh right.
But
I
I
might even. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'll impose you a diamond.
We're just gonna take your payment for the last job. No, I'm just kidding.
You have a bunch of gold diamond dust.
Yes, at the moment, at least diamond dust that can be used for like non-detection. I only have 2 of those because we used 1.
3.
You gave me 3.
I found 3. I would have given you. I don't have anything to do with them.
I obviously didn't update it. Okay, so I will update.
I don't know if we actually did.
Does
any
the
of this.
300 gold need to be a whole diamond, or can it be 300 gold of dust?
No, it has to be a whole diamond.
Whole
I
diamond.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be a single diamond worth 300 gold.
Yeah, if you tried to do the dust, they probably would come back in pieces or something.
Tape it all together.
That's right.
Just
Use
stick it in a bowl with a bunch of super glue and hope it holds up.
Right.
Yeah.
You like that scene from Galaxy Quest where the creature goes through the telephone? Never mind.
Yeah.
So I have at least 1 crystallized agate for clairvoyance. Do we think we need another? I've never used the spell.
It doesn't consume it, right?
I thought I did. Let me look.
I don't think
I'm gonna ask the fancy guy if he knows where we could buy a diamond.
It as a focus.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Oh well. Yes, of course. You can always check over at Burla's Beauties. It's the highest end jewelry shop in all the town.
Burla's Beauties.
Like, as in, she's gonna look at us funny when we go and ask, or you think that it'll be okay? Because, like, sometimes people don't like me.
If you have gold, I'm sure she can get over whatever she might think.
Cool.
I certainly don't discriminate.
Well, we also
don't.
know of the person that sold us the spell components originally. There's a
Was
chance.
that here?
That was in Fay Harbor. It was in a different part of town though, so it's a bit of a trek. If I'm not crazy, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
You've got a lot of sirens going on. That's all.
The town guard is coming.
Sorry, I didn't even. You just tuned that out.
Yeah, I know.
It happens a lot on the street.
Yeah.
That didn't mean. It doesn't matter. It happens a lot in New York.
But yes, no, their impressive feats is where you bought stuff from Conjure, the old male tiefling.
I'm partial to Conjure myself, but I'm happy to try a new shop. I mean, he might have.
Well, I mean, if we're getting like 6 of them, then we need to go different places, I would think.
Perhaps.
We'll find out.
Okay.
I forgot about that guy. Time is weird.
Time is weird.
All right, so you are heading to Conjure's, or you're going to Burley's?
Is there any? I'm about to say, is there any way we know what's?
You have no idea what stock is.
Oh no, I mean, like, do I have any kind of knowledge of like what's on the way, roughly?
Ask the guy.
No.
Okay, yeah, let's ask the guy. Let's ask for.
Where's Burla's?
He gives you directions. It's in the opposite way from Conjure's place. The impressive feats.
Where's Haggis?
He kind of like arches an eyebrow and motion and kind of explains it's more towards the docks.
What
is a Haggis?
It's an apothecary.
Oh, okay.
That could be useful. Perhaps they have things for making more potions. Greg, I am.
Yes, it's actually called Haggis Healy's, run by a woman named Happy Haggy, appropriately enough. But you know, I'm told she does good work.
Okay, I have heard people mention her. Anyway, okay. Well, thank you. I think we should. We've got a lot to do.
All right, so you head off. Adis, we're gonna pop back to you. Are you buying anything else?
Yes.
Great. What else do you want?
So I would like to buy the. I forget. Does this lady have kits? Like a climber's kit?
I would say that she might. Yeah, she has a climber's kit. She can sell it to you for 25 gold.
Yes, climber's kit. I will take. Is block and tackle? That's grappling hooks, right?
No, that's pulleys and ropes.
Yeah. Block and tackle is like set up pulleys that are different sizes to make lifting things easier.
I don't think we need that. I'll just get a grappling hook.
Okay.
If she has it.
Yeah, she has a couple of grappling hooks. How many do you want? Okay. She has up to 4 available.
How much are they?
They're 2 gold.
I'll take all 4.
Great. Another 8 gold. So that's 32 plus the original 6.5 is 38.5 gold.
Okay.
For 200 feet of rope and all that stuff.
Are you able to make thieves' tools?
I can make any tool. My feature is called Right Tools. With 1 hour and Tinker's Tools, I can make any tool.
Okay, because I've just reread my shit and I'm now proficient in them.
I also have a rusty damaged set of them that I found. So
Can we like spiffy them up a little bit?
Maybe, yeah.
Alright, so 4 grappling hooks.
I like how Adis is buying all this, and I imagine he's going to shove it off on Defect to carry.
Bag of holding.
Well, you don't have
put it in the bag of
No,
holding.
you don't. I have the bag of holding.
Right, yeah, but once
right
I get
now,
it,
what are you gonna do?
You're just gonna be just like
dragging a big ass bag of stuff through the middle of the street. Yeah,
I'm wandering along covered in rope.
Yeah,
I will find a nice gentleman to carry my shit for me.
Kaylin!
Right?
My
Where are
sword's
you?
at work.
I mean, you do have your necklace.
Beth, I have to drag my shit to it. That might be further away.
Yeah, you don't know. It just points in a direction.
Alright. I will. Did we decide on a meeting point, or are you just gonna message me?
I assume you
I-
would
inn.
re-meet at the inn.
Okay,
Re-meet
yeah,
at the inn? Reconnoiter? Whatever. You'd get back together at the inn. That's
How
what I'm
heavy
trying
is
to
all
say.
the stuff that I'm carrying?
Well, the grappling hooks are 4 pounds each. The climber's kit is 12 pounds. Rope is the hempen rope is what you got. That's 10 pounds per 50 feet. So that's 40 pounds. The pythons are like a quarter pound each, and you got 50 of them. So that's like 12 and a half pounds or something.
Yeah, I'm like at about my max carrying weight.
Yeah.
You are over encumbered. You can now walk only slowly.
If you put it all on your sheet on D&D Beyond, it'll tell you how much it all weighs.
Ah, that's so much work.
You went shopping.
You
I
did,
know.
and decided to get all of the things. That's hilarious.
I mean, this also means that we don't have to go shopping for a while. Buy in bulk.
All right.
Is there a Costco in this city?
No. Great. So Adis has bought out the shop. Spoot and Greg, where did you end up?
Okay, maybe I need to roll for this. If there
We'll
is
go to Conjurers because you like it.
All right,
okay,
cool.
I was about
And
to say,
if we
there's any way
really need more diamonds, if he doesn't have enough, we'll go to Burla's.
okay, I was gonna say, yeah, if there's some way that I could like tell what might be the most efficient trip, I'm happy to roll.
They're in
Otherwise-
different directions.
Yeah.
So
Okay, let's just go to Conjures then.
yeah, you head over to Conjures. Oh, hello. It's nice to see you again. What can I do for you today?
3 diamonds, please.
What sort of quality would you like?
300 gold worth about each of them so that, you can, like, save somebody who's dead.
For a revivify spell.
It's for Revivify, yes.
That
I would
one.
say,
Yeah.
Very well. Just a moment. Let me check what I have in stock here. He looks around. I do have 2 that I would be happy to sell you.
Absolutely. Yes, we will take it.
I mean, yeah, we'll clear you out.
Wonderful. That will be 607 gold, or 608 gold pieces, actually.
608. Oh, because you're charging 4 a little extra. Yeah, all right, a little something on top. I see how it is.
I believe it says that the diamonds must be worth at least 300 gold.
That's very true. Sure. Is that true?
That is true.
I am quite familiar with spell components, and I get the highest quality. If you would like a higher quality diamond, I have a couple of those running around.
Oh, that's okay. Hopefully, we won't need very many of these. But I have already used some of your spell components that I bought the last time, and I have faith in the quality.
Excellent.
So,
I'm not questioning the quality. I'm just questioning the price. But how do we convert this? Amber has to do math all of a sudden.
There's-
Platinum piece is 10 gold.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. So I can give him 60 platinum and 8 gold.
Give
Yeah.
him some electrum.
No, I don't have any electrum.
You
Convert
and
it
Electrum,
all.
man. Like, you're
I
addicted
want
to
to use
Electrum.
it someday.
give him some
Someday.
Dogecoin. Some Dogecoin. I'm just
Right?
Yeah, I'll give him some Doge. No, I can give him 60 platinum. I might as well break that up, right, y'all? That's
Sure.
fine. I'll give him the
fine.
600 gold. We have so much gold.
Okay. Because at this point, Spoot's like, I can cover 1 diamond, but not even because I actually have less than 300 now.
I mean, it's group cost, right? Just pull it
Yeah,
from.
I think so. Yeah,
I
that
mean, this
makes
all
most
goes
sense.
towards us living.
It will,
Right.
Yeah, I was about to say it'll go to the first
Yeah,
person that dies.
whatever it is, like, you can figure that out, but it's 608 gold is what he's charging you.
Okay. I can't math. My brain is melting. All right, great. I give him the gold.
Yep, and he passes you over the 2 diamonds. He does give them to you, and they're in like nice little cloth wrappings inside little drawstring bags, so they're well protected.
Cool. What else you got? I don't know if I need that. Do you have like objects? Anything magical that's interesting? Hey, do you want to buy this? No, you probably don't.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
All right.
Wow. Well, I mean, like, I've got these rings. You want to make them magic, or should I like sell them somewhere else? Oh, and there's this emerald necklace. Do you need this?
Oh, well, I tell you, oh, wait. We'll say, Seda, if not Seda, sorry.
Conjure.
Conjure. Oh gosh, Spoot's having a senior moment. He is actually old for a turtle, so. Is there any way that you might could guide us, perhaps, if any of these items that we have could be valuable for a spell component or worth keeping or enchanting? Otherwise, maybe we look to sell them.
Pretty much anything can be enchanted if you spend enough time on it. It takes constant casting of the desired effect in a ritual format every day for a certain amount of time. A practiced enchanter can do it in a quicker period. But as for value, jewelry is always valuable. It is possible that there are spells that use such things for spell components. I can't think of any spells that require an emerald off the top of my head, but...
Nor can I. Here's what I think, Rick. Perhaps there's no harm in holding on to them for now. I'm interested in maybe, enchanting something in the future, and I don't think we need the funds immediately.
Okay.
Unless it's just too much to carry around, in which I understand.
Nah, we're good.
Okay. Well, I believe that's all I need from here, I think.
Okay, great. He wishes you well, and you head off.
Thank you again, Conjure. Till next time.
Yep, he happily waves you goodbye. Anybody want to go anywhere else, or are you going to reconnoiter, rendezvous, regroup? That's the word. Regroup.
We go see Haggis. I want to buy more potions. I know
Let's
we
go.
made one, but
Yeah, I agree. Let's go to Haggis, and I could also maybe get a jump start on some ingredients for the next one.
All right, cool. Yeah, you head on down to the docks.
meanwhile, Defect is
and-
like banging his head against a wall.
Yeah, you head on down to the docks, and you find through the directions given you, like kind of a rundown looking shop on the front. There's like ivy and plants kind of just growing out of hanging cauldrons, and like dirty cauldrons just stacked up on top of each other next to the doors and the windows, with a sign that seems to be scrawled Haggis Heelys, and a little like bubbling cauldron on the sign.
Honestly, for sake of time and the amount of shopping we've done, do you just want to say that we asked for XYZ and...
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Cool.
What do you want?
Unless you want to play this character.
It's an old human woman who seems very animated. So...
Is she ugly?
Let's see it. I want to see this play.
Was Greg right?
So you enter and... Hello! I'm Happy Haggy. Most people call me Haggy. But what can I do for you today? What can I do for you, dearies? Oh, you're a big one, and you're a little one. What an interesting couple you are. Now, please, come in. What can old Haggy do for you today?
Greg, what did you look for? What are you looking for?
I want some health potions, just because, death. I don't like death.
Yeah, I think some health potions would be fantastic if you have them.
I happen to have 8 healing potions available.
Oh, how many do you think we need?
You want them? You can have them.
I'm a little anxious here.
They're 50 gold each.
Okay, that's different than having them there, Haggy.
What are you talking about? That's how much they cost.
Right, but that's like when you say you want to have them, that's like you're saying you're going to give them to us. It's very confusing.
Nobody thinks that. You're crazy.
Mm.
We broke Matt.
I'm laughing at now. There was a chuckle, and then it's what is this?
It's just compounded. I'm so glad that we RP'd this and didn't skip it. It's so hot here. Okay.
I don't know what you're doing with your shirt. I was like, are you telling me
It's so
something?
hot. It's
Is
just hot in
Spoot
here.
like
But also I'm
attracted
laughing.
to this lady?
Yeah. Oh, Spoot's. No, it's just actually hot in here. Okay. Whew, game face. I think Spoot will recommend that we buy at least one healing potion per member of the party, and then everyone keeps one.
So that's all 4.
We also always have my good berries.
5. I can count.
But I have one already, the one we created.
You
so
have
we could
one.
just buy 4. We could just buy 4,
Okay.
and then everyone but me gets one.
All
And
right.
then
Do you only have like the little ones, or do you got any big ones?
Oh, well. Let me see. And she kind of goes and rumbles around. I do actually have 2 that are a little bit better.
I want one of the. Ow. I want one of the. That's the shot arm.
I understand.
It was surprising.
I'll take one of the big ones and 3 of the little ones. Because Defect's big.
I say, looking up at Spoot.
It is true. He's bigger than me, if you can believe it. And I'll look at Hacky.
Oh, that sounds just impressive in all the right ways.
Oh my god.
Oh, well. Let's see. Yes. So. Great. I can get you this 3 regular potions at 50 gold each. And then a greater healing potion. One of these can be yours for 150 gold.
Okay. There you go.
Great, the transaction is complete. You come back anytime now. Feel free to bring your big friend.
I'll come back now, you hear?
Quick, let's get out of here, Greg.
Quick, insight check. No, seriously, I want to know if Greg gets this.
Go.
Natural
20. She's fascinated with people who are large. She's a fairly like old shriveled woman, so she's maybe like 5'3". So yeah,
I'm sure she's.
she probably is into like big, tall, masculine folks.
I wonder if we
Sure.
could get a discount if we bring Defect.
Maybe next time we should try that.
Won't know until you try.
We should. Was there somewhere else we wanted to go? Do we have it? Do we want more
No,
diamonds?
that's everything I
specifically?
want.
I think 2
I mean,
diamonds. Hopefully,
2 diamonds.
Don't die.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Okay, now let's
All right.
reconvene or regroup or whatever we call it.
Whatever,
Yeah.
whatever the R word is.
All right, you all are back together. Get it?
Yep.
All right. It takes you a few hours to do all this shopping, and you regroup at the inn.
You see,
Hey,
Adis
Defect, we
like
met this lady.
sweaty as fuck.
Yeah, Adis is like sweating, like dripping down, carrying like a sack of what is obviously like a bulging sack of heavy things just across the ground.
What kind of
What's
sack
that?
It is a full bulging sack,
Mhm.
full of rope and pythons and stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Clericy bits.
Yeah, I bought some of those too.
Good night, everybody.
The end. That's
Where is
Greg,
Defect been this whole time?
We've gone full Animaniacs here.
I feel like
Yeah,
once
Defect, what have you been doing?
Right? I
Wait.
feel like once everyone split to go shopping, Defect just had like this crazy adventure in the city that we'll never know about.
Defect's big
Roll a
day.
D100 for me, Defect.
Wait, is
Alright.
it like the scenes before the Pokemon movies where Pikachu goes off and does some like crazy ass shit and just ends up back with Ash like nothing happened?
Yeah, like one of those.
I rolled a 35.
Great. Do.
Wild Magic Surge.
Yes.
All right. So on your adventures, kind of meanderingly, you end up walking over a rusted sewer grate that drops you into a sewer that washes you down. The current like takes you away until it like busts you out into the lake, and you kind of have to swim back up. This process, you get a little bit sick from it, and you take 11 necrotic damage throughout the whole process.
So I just went down the world's longest slide.
Toilet slide.
It's a water slide that burns a little bit.
Yeah, there was something not nice in the sewers. It was just grody.
Is there
I hate it.
like anything mixed in the sewers at all? Like I feel like it's always going to be something bad. in the
I
sewers.
mean, it just like you were just like swept away by it, so you didn't really catch a view of what was around.
We
So-
might want to lesser restoration you before you touch anybody.
Right, I was going to say when we come back.
You do like get washed out into the bay, so you've got to like walk across the surface or swim, not across the like surface of the bottom of the pond. That's the bottom of the lake.
Honest-
The bottom of the lake, or swim or whatever to get back. So you'll be mostly clean by the time you reach shore.
Okay. Big crazy adventure.
Yeah, that was your time. Cool. So you all meet up. Defect is dripping wet when you all show up at the thing. Adis has a huge burlap bag full of stuff, and Spoot and Grig have no discernible difference because they probably put all the stuff in the bag of holding. Except for maybe the diamonds, which
Might
are
keep
somewhere
the
in
diamonds.
Spoot's.
Yeah, I added that to my inventory along with the map making tools.
Cartographer's kit.
You're
That's
not
what
going to
I
say it again.
said.
Wonderful.
One more time.
I dig it. Yeah, so you spend a few hours doing that, and you all meet back up. It's probably like an hour or two after midday. It's up to you whether you think that you are good to go, or if you want to hang around for the day and get it started in the morning. It's your call.
I have a feeling that Olive and Defect both want to get going, get out. If Olive wants to come with us, which I don't know.
You know, Defect is taking stuff off of him. It's like it is time to leave the city.
Yeah. Also, yeah. Well, never mind. We'll ignore that. Sorry.
Greg,
Another road.
is this enough stuff, you think?
That's a lot of stuff. Is there any change?
Yeah, and I'll give. How much was there left? Hold on.
I think it was 38.5 gold.
Yeah. I just added it to like all of my personal. I forgot. 38.5. So that's I had 25 to start with. So 82 minus 25.
Greg gave you 100 gold, so.
Yeah.
So then that would be 62 or 61.5 gold back to Greg.
Okay.
Okay. Which is 5 silver.
All right, so you do all this, put stuff back in the bag. Yeah. Are you going to hang out for the rest of the day, or are you going to head on out?
Let's get some travel in.
Let's get some shoes. Yes, let's travel.
I will remind you that Kalen is not with you. So
Oh yeah, you should talk to Kaylin.
Oh, Spook, can you find out
Shouldn't
where he
you?
is? Or wait,
Yeah, I
I
can.
can, I, wait, I could go find him. It might take me short. It might take me longer.
Well, let's send him a message, and then he can, let us know where you two can meet before we depart. I think that's important.
Yes.
We'll eat some lunch.
Okay.
Yes, I would like to have at least one more meal of fish before we leave this, and back to the diet of good berries. No offense.
Back to the diet. We don't need rations.
I have a few of those left too.
I still have a bunch from our first endeavor.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think we've used like
Plus
any
our
of them just because I
5-pound
hunt
bags of
every
rice.
time.
Yeah.
Perks of having a ranger, you don't have to pay for rations.
Yeah. So you cast sending to Kalen. What do you send to him?
I will say, Kaylin, we are going to depart on a journey. Adis would like to see you first. Where can you meet him? You can reply to this message.
A message. A second goes by, and you get a response. I'm just finishing up with the guards here for the day. I can be back at the inn in about half an hour.
Oh crap! I have to use another spell slot.
You don't have to. You can just say that.
Well, that might be taking. Okay, yes. I'll tell Adis. Like he says, he can be back at the inn in half an hour. Do you want to wait?
Yeah. I mean, what time is it right now?
It's
I
like 1 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking of doing that like long strider thing again, so we like can get a bit more travel in, but I would only have 2 hours of that.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so 1.5 minutes, fine.
All right.
Let's
Yeah.
order lunch.
Yeah, you get lunch. Lunch here is oops. Ooh, new monitor setup. Can't find things.
Exciting though.
It is. I have a third monitor now. It's crazy. Yeah. Lunch here is 5 silver a person, so it's all good. But about a half hour later, yeah, Kaylin comes rushing up. Adis, you see that he has been running to like get here.
Oh.
But he comes up. He's like, "Ooh, sorry, I got here as quick as I could. You're going somewhere?"
Yeah, we got asked by the head archivist to investigate some ruins where some of his researchers, he's lost contact with them.
Okay.
It's like a few days from here. And like it's in a sinkhole. And he said that they found stuff from pre the breaking. That might have some information.
Oh, okay. All right.
Do you have a place to stay, or are they giving you somewhere to stay, or do you have to find that on your own?
No, I have to figure that out.
Alright, I will give him 20 gold for now, and hopefully that's enough. That's all I have.
Yeah, his eyes go a little bit wide. He's like, I probably don't need all of this.
Just take it.
He kind of like smirks to himself. Okay. Sure. So I guess we're not taking a walk. Okay. So you think you'll be back in like 7 or 8 days or 10 days?
I mean, possibly less, because I can just teleport us back, hopefully.
Oh, okay. Good. All right. Well, I mean, I know you don't like cities, and I'm not too fond of them either. I'm just kind of stuck here for a little while.
Yeah, that's the downside. But hopefully, like, at least with the teleporting back, it'll be easier to come and go for now.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Um. Can I just talk to you real quick?
Of course.
And he kind of like
Support.
leads you away from the group for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm not mad that you want to do this thing to help out the guy who helped you and us and all. Like, I get it. I'm not even mad that you want to get out of the city, because I kind of do too, but I have to do this thing and it's kind of safer for me here at the moment. It would have been nice to like check in before you decided to do it, but I'm not trying to run your life either. Like, you got to do what you got to do. And I know it's a big shift, and it's a lot for me to even be like saying that. It's just, I feel like I just, I mean, we just found each other again, and it's been a long time for me, and I was hoping to get to spend a little time with you. That's all. So I'm not mad. I'm just, would have been nice.
I understand. I wasn't the one that originally agreed to this. The Spoot is the one that like really jumped on it. But he did say his people went missing, and he hasn't been able to contact them for 2 weeks, and so that
Yeah,
part is a
no,
little concerning. But
yeah,
I
absolutely.
also,
And that's why I'm not mad. I know you're going out to help people, which is good. And honestly, I'm proud of you for helping people. Like, I wasn't able to help many people the last few years, so I'm really proud and happy that you are. It's one of the reasons I agreed to this parole or whatever. Um, and, it's complicated. I'm not mad at you. I'm not in any way like, there's no negative feelings towards you. I just come back, okay?
I always do.
That's what makes you
My timing
amazing.
wasn't great the past 20 years, but I always come back.
I don't think I can hold you at fault for that, okay?
All
All right. And he just kind of like holds your hand and like gives you a little squeeze, and it's like, just be safe and watch out for each other, and I'll see you when you get back, okay?
Yeah, and I mean, if Spoot has magic to spare, I'll have him shoot you a message at least try to, if he has spells left at the end of the day. Just
Okay.
to
Yeah.
let you know that everything's fine.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. And yeah, maybe I'll find a little place to rent for a little while. And maybe when you get back we can take a walk.
Of course.
All right. Well, good hunting, I guess.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll give him a hug and then go back to the group.
Yeah, he returns it and kind of gives you a last little squeeze right before you depart. And you go off.
Let's hit the road.
Yeah, Adis returns to the group, and you all head out.
Are you in trouble?
No, I'm fine.
Spoot
Okay.
yeah, Spoot's a little ashamed. Maybe he'll say, "Adis, I'm sorry."
You can make an insight check if you want.
Yeah. Greg wants to insight check.
Yeah,
This is Grig's new
it's going to
hobby.
be
Greg
it's going to be generally about the conversation that they were having, but they're far enough away you couldn't like hear them, but just like a read on the situation.
Yeah. 14, very respectable.
Yeah.
You're getting there. You're doing
Yeah.
good with this.
So with a 14, Grig, you get that they're not arguing, they're not like being angry, like there's no anger. You get a sense that like Kaylin's just concerned about something.
Okay.
It's okay. We have diamonds.
I'll say
The
that.
cause of and
Hey, it's
solution
okay.
to all
He
of
doesn't
life's
need to worry.
problems.
He doesn't need to worry. We've got more diamonds.
That's reassuring.
Adis, I'm sorry. I think in my excitement and haste to leave, I neglected to think about parting may be difficult right now. I understand if you're not ready to leave yet.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I really don't like being in a city, but I just feel bad because he can't leave.
I understand. And I think he would be very useful on our journey. But when we make it back, perhaps he can join us in the next adventure.
Maybe, but he seems to have grown better than me at the bow. I mean, Grig, I gave him the last of my money. I don't know how much we have left, but he has to find his own housing and everything while he's working with the guards. Do we have a little bit more we can give him? I only had 20 left.
I've got some I can give him.
I mean, sure, if you want to like keep giving from your cut.
That's fine. I feel bad for ditching.
Also, if you need to stay, we would understand. I can't force anyone to join me.
I kind of have to do this because if this has more about home, and they said an old dialect of Common, I might know it and be able to translate some of it.
No, you're not too good with languages, are you? I'm just kidding. I didn't say that.
I don't know. I'm quite terrible.
I
at
only
them.
speak 45 languages. Jesus.
Yeah.
My passive perception is 30.
Start speaking deep speech and Spoot's ears start bleeding.
I combat it with celestial. I don't know if that would work.
Adis, you get a shiver down your spine in like a good tingly way.
Oh.
Great. So you're going to like Kaylin is still like there. He went back to the group with you. He just wanted to have a private chat before you all left, and he's gonna like walk you out. So
Of course. I mean, let's say like we're gone 10 days. That only gets him the 20 I give him only gets him like 10 in a room.
well, that's if I stay at an inn. If I find a room to like rent, it's gonna be a little cheaper.
Oh, okay. I mean, you've been here a bit, so I believe you, but do you think another
Yeah.
10 would help or
I give him 100.
His eyes go wide for a second. He's like, I guess you did find it.
Probably was part of his pay at some point anyway.
Yeah, Greg
I-
is
and
like
I-
greedy,
I-
but not greedy.
I do have money coming. It's just it's tied up in the investigation at the moment, and once they
And you can pay
Clear-
us back.
sure, and then once they clear it, I'll be a little bit better off. But yeah, okay, all right. So you give him this money, and you walk out of the city. At the gates, he kind of stands there and kind of holds your hand for another moment, Adis, and just is like, I know you will be, but be careful.
always? I mean, I'm still wearing my necklace too, so you can just watch the little thingy.
I will also, if I have any spells left at the end of the day, I'm happy to send a message occasionally just to update you.
Yeah, he turns his head and kind of like nods in like thanks to you, Spoot. And you realize that even though he turns his head towards you and nods, his eyes always stay on Adis.
Spoot throws up a
I
little bit in their
disappear.
mouth, and then it's like, time to go.
Yeah.
All right. So while we're here, I'm gonna burn 4 first level spell slots to start.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast Long Strider on each of us to give us extra movement for an hour.
All right. You wave goodbye to Kaelin, cast your spells, and poof, you all are motoring, moving very quickly down the road for an hour.
And then I can do that only one more time.
Don't worry about it. It's a main road. There's no problems. In a couple of days, it's up to you to determine how much more spell slots you want to use. But
I mean, I can.
it's another
the
day
move.
and a half of travel. So
Okay. I mean, I can just, since we're only getting half a day's traveling today, I'll use the 2 of my second level spell slots and do it again, because I can target 2 people at the second level.
okay, cool. Yeah. So the
Defect
next day.
Defect doesn't need it because you have 40 movement speed, so that just matches. That just matches us to defect.
Right. Yeah. So you all get boosted again the next day. And so probably like the mid-morning of like the second day out of the city is when you all arrive. Like you could hear the river miles away. Like it is a large river coming over a little knoll. You look out and you see a river that just is expansive. You're not even sure how far away the river, the other bank is at first glance. And looking out across it, you can see the current moving swiftly by. And you also see on this side of the river, down the knoll and a few hundred feet away, you see a very large, flat, kind of open-bottomed boat with a big rope across the center that looks like it's a barge where they pull across.
A defect, you got this.
There are people there, like there are people whose job this is.
Oh, okay.
People who run it. But yeah. It looks like there's a few people down there. Kind of getting the bar. It looks like they're loading up the barge for a crossing.
I guess we do that.
Yeah. So you head on down to the barge, and a guy comes over to you, kind of a big burly individual, bit of a belly. It's like, "Are you crossing the river?"
Yeah.
All right, great. It's 3 gold a person, and you can hop on the barge. Name's Herbie.
3 gold?
It's hard to cross the river.
I mean, Greg, do you want to swim?
No.
You're welcome to try.
If Rig rides on one of our backs, does that save Greg
It's,
the 3 gold?
it's 3 gold per person to get on the barge.
I understand.
How you choose to do it is up to you.
I pick up Greg, but it's a child.
We
Oh,
didn't,
wow.
we didn't have time to prepare the disguise.
Yeah.
I mean, quite honestly, I'd still charge 3 gold for a kid. It's dangerous crossing, so it's got to be worth it.
5 times 18, or 5 times 3 is 18. What is that? Wait, what?
What?
What's the
15?
5 times 3 would
It's
be
15.
15.
That's what I said. Cartographer. Okay, I'm gonna give the man 15 gold.
You should give elocution lessons.
I should.
It'd be
I'm so
amazing.
eloquent.
Yeah.
Okay, I will give the man 15 gold so we can get on this thing.
Yeah, you hand it over. He smiles. He's like, "Welcome. Please allow me to introduce my business partner here. This is Cloud. Hello. And that's Falcon and Turn up there on the barge, kind of. They're our guards. They make sure things stay away.
Did you say turnip?
No, Falcon and Turn.
Oh, turn. Okay.
Yeah,
Turn up there on the barge.
yeah.
I thought you spoke common. No, I'm sorry. This is.
No, like it cut out when he was saying turn, so I was like,
Spook didn't say that. That's just me being like trying to be funny.
Well, you can hop on the barge. There's a few bits of crates going across right now. They'll be picked up on the other side. But come on aboard.
Is it very
Hey.
often that things try to get on the barge that shouldn't?
Well, occasionally there's a bit of trouble, but it's a fast-moving river. There's all kinds of stuff. Me and Cloud, we gotta pull all the time, keep the rope moving, so we get across, right? That's why we got Falcon and Turn here. You see, sometimes just crazy creatures come up. The crosscut's a main offshoot of the divide, leads right down into Broken Lake.
should be fun.
Yeah,
It sounds great. It sounds like an elevator battle waiting to happen.
we'll stand in We'll stand in the middle of the barge then.
Yeah, whatever you want. It's fine.
Yeah. Be next to Defect and have out my little hammer.
Let's not stand near the edge.
I mean, it is a large, like, big barge. Like, it's not tiny. It's pretty massive.
Oh, so it's like boss battle size floor. Got it.
Looking at it, the barge appears to be about, let's call it, like almost 60 by like 30. Like it is a
That's
big
a boss
barge.
battle. Okay.
It is a
okay.
big barge. But yeah, you all get on. You see Falcon kind of takes up a position by like this seemingly useless rudder, considering it's just pulled along by a big it's done by pulling the rope, and you can see the current is like whipping past, and like the rope like dips down into the water a certain ways away. Like it's going to be wet, it's going to be a thing, but it's going to happen. And Turn is up at the other side of the barge, just kind of looking out at the water. But you all climb up, and they're like, all right, we're going off now. Everybody got your stuff? Got your gear? All right, here we go. And Herbie, like, starts pulling with Cloud on the other end, and they, like, grab it and, like, walk kind of across the barge, and the barge kind of pulls away on the rope, and it starts moving across the Crosscut River. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session, as you all leave on the barge to get up north on the north side of the Crosscut.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What type of monster will attack us now?
Nobody knows.
Oh. All of them.
I'm like having
I don't know
flashbacks
why,
of
but my
Halo.
brain just like leaped to Final Fantasy X with the boat battle that you had to do
Mm.
on your way to Kilika Island.
And there's that Resident Evil boss battle. I'm pretty sure that's on a boat.
No, I'm not accepting that one. Absolutely not.
I can't forget whether I'm thinking of Gears of War or Halo when you're like on a platform and you're passing by other platforms and they're jumping at you, and that's
That
them.
too.
Probably Gears. Probably lots, but that's probably Gears.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. But yeah.
Nightmare.
Well done, everybody. You had a successful trial and got a job helping a friend, and seemingly got the Red Crow problem sorted in Fay Harbor. So good job.
We're all gonna be murdered in our sleep. Woohoo!
Or eaten by a kraken.
Yeah.
Or some Goliath Sahagin.
Hey,
No, we
who
discover
knows?
why they're called the Red Crows. It is in fact a giant red crow as their boss.
Mhm. A giant red
There you
kangaroo.
go.
Yeah. Well done, everybody. Well done indeed. Great. Let's go around, say some goodbyes, and I will see who we're going to rate tonight. as always, I've got it. Rocking the chat. Much love. But yeah, let's start up with Spoot.
Yeah, thanks for watching. I had a blast. Sorry that there's no battle yet, but pretty sure we're gearing up for that. So come back next week.
Yeah, there's no reason this platform is this big without a reason.
I mean, like the current moves very quickly. It's probably that big because otherwise it would get capsized or something.
This is my trusting face.
But Adis, hey, take it away.
Thanks for watching, guys. This is fun. It's fun. Why did my game just save, and why is this room full of supplies and so wide open?
Great. And moving over to Greg.
It's me, Mario. Hi, I'm Amber. I have been Greg. I'm always Greg.
Sometimes defect, sometimes spoot.
That's true. Multiple personalities. I love having conversations with myself. Anyway, thanks for watching. If this is your first time joining us, thanks. Watch the YouTube channel Nuuli Forged. And I'm gonna say it for Jared. Follow us on all the social medias at Nuuli Forged as well. Goodbye.
And defect.
Hey, I am one half of #Refect.
I forgot about that one. Dang it.
Thanks for watching. It's okay. We finish each other's sentences, so.
Aw, sandwiches.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you.
Yeah. And thank you everyone for watching. We're going to do a little raid on Dungeon Scrawlers because why not? They're cool people. I'm Jared. I've been your Dungeon Master here on Nuuli Forged. Follow us on all the socials as Amber threw out. I've got it in chat. Hit up that socials link. You can catch the old episodes. You can check out Matt and I's podcast, Mid-Level Adventurers, wherever you get that stuff. And we'll be back next week for River and Ruins. It'll be a good time. So
Suspicious.
Alliteration.
Could be. Good night, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Goodbye.
Bye.